Search, they interviewed OC Brian Schottenheimer for that job and the head coaching job. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. How we doing? It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm AJ Hoffman, joined in studio.
Against my better judgment.
Braving the elements today.
You know how cold it was this morning?
Avengers Assemble. We're all back together.
Against my better judgment.
Everyone was a hero today, and it wasn't just us, Vic.
I know.
I don't want to be a hero. I'm more that we don't need another hero. I'm perfectly happy letting you be the hero. But I'm willing to write notes to anybody else out there. At night, it was 19 at my house with a little bit of a breeze.
It was colder this morning than it was yesterday.
Oh, I decided that this morning I would get up and warm my car up.
Mm.
So my alarm goes off, and I didn't, I hit some snooze, and I knew what was coming. So I get up, and I have a big, heavy robe, and I ran out to start my car. And, of course, I'm in my house shoes and socks. I didn't lock myself, and nothing terrible happened. But I turned the corner, and that breeze hit me. Man, that'll wake you up in the morning.
Oh, yes.
This nature's trying to kill you. I am truly a hot weather guy.
Well, that's why sharks were invented, for nature to kill you.
Well, that's brutal, man. And it's that kind of ice that is so frozen that it just turns into dust.
This morning was way different than yesterday. When I got downstairs yesterday to my car, when I was walking down the stairs, I was like, oh man, because you had sent me a picture and you were like, it's iced over out here. And my car was covered, but when I got to it, it was like the consistency of powder.
Yeah, that's
so I just brushed it off, and
everybody
I was
saying it looks a lot worse than it.
I was like, this is okay. And then I didn't have any problems driving in yesterday. And then this morning I got downstairs, and there was an actual layer of ice on my car.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to wait until my windshield defrosted. This morning was a process to get going.
It was, and
it was colder.
Oh, so I had my car running probably 45 minutes before I got into it.
I can't do that because I live in a...
somebody might jack your car.
Right. I live in the ghetto.
You know what? You could do it. You think at the time, I think anybody...
When it's below freezing, they don't close our gate. So once my gate's open, all the riffraff could come in.
The way I look at it, if you're prowling to steal a car in your neighborhood, if you're prowling to steal a car at 18 degrees, more power to you, man.
Yeah.
Take my car.
If
you work more than I do.
If you want to jump the fence from the Chick-fil-A.
If you're of the wherewithal, more power to you. Just write me a kind note when the insurer comes and calls you. The frozenness of it this morning, it added another 15 minutes in the shower. I was so cold this morning.
Yeah.
Like hypothermic.
It was like kind of bone chilling cold. But you know what? Yesterday, when I left here yesterday, it was damn near colder than it was when the sun wasn't up.
Yeah, it got colder. My neighbor has a wood chipper.
Uh-huh.
Well, not a wood chipper, a log splitter.
Okay.
Like, you can crack firewood, and it's like this hydraulic thing
I cut my friend's thumb off with one of those.
Oh, dude, yeah, I could see how it could happen. So he has one, and I was helping him for a couple minutes, and I'm gonna borrow it. I went out yesterday, and as we were out, I would say from 3 to 4, it got colder.
Oh yeah,
it got brighter and sunnier. But
you have a fireplace?
Yeah, well, not my father does. I have one, but it's all gas. It doesn't burn anything.
Yeah.
But my dad does, so we're going to crack some wood.
Nice.
But that is a unique experience unto itself, because you could lose a finger pretty damn easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a...
when I was in high school, and my buddy and I my dad bought a bunch of land to keep cattle on.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't land that was built for cattle. It was an apple orchard.
Oh.
And like the guy was getting rid of the apple trees, and so my buddy and I spent a summer cutting down apple trees.
Wow.
And splitting the wood, and one day
That's some hard work, man.
we're running wood through the splitter, and his thumb got caught, and
Dude, that hits me down the middle of my spine. Just thinking,
from the top corner of his nail diagonal to the bottom corner of his nail, gone. I drove him to the hospital with of course, I made him hang his finger or his hand out the window because I didn't want blood in my car.
Yeah.
And they got it sewn back on.
Oh, so they managed. You found the piece.
I did. It was they sewed it back on, and it was gross. It was all black and gross looking. And the doctor was like, "You can't do anything with this for like 3 weeks, and it'll be."
Just the thought.
He's like, "It's not gonna ever look like it
Horrible
used to
again.
look, but it'll look like a thumb." Well, after about a week, I was like, "Dude, let's go outside and play some basketball."
Oh, dude.
And he was like, "Dude, I can't. My thumb." And I said, "Dude, come on, man. You're gonna be fine." Literally, the very first play,
Knocked his thumb off.
his thumb got knocked off, and he just like put it in like a little jar and just said, "F it." So now he's got a messed up thumb. And I used to go in his bedroom and tie knots in his shoes. He couldn't undo the knots. He would get.
You know, I only have one thumb.
And it's the part of your thumb that you would use to try and pry open a knot.
So now he's a Neanderthal.
Now he's a broken man.
No thumb.
He's a broken man.
No nuts.
Yeah. So you got to be careful with those hydraulic wood splitters.
Dude, that's a crushing thing, man. This thing has remarkable power. All I could think of is, I wonder what else I could put in here.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to put a beer can. See what happens.
See
to
what
a beer
happens.
Can and over here, let's see if I can find this.
Watermelon.
See if how it'll crush this. I mean, I got a whole bunch of TikTok videos I could put together now that I have 75 days. I'm gonna become a TikToker.
I was glad that my dad got that wood splitter because at my actual house, and this is when I lived in New Mexico, my actual house, the wood splitting was on me, and we did not have a wood splitter. So I was like out there, skinny ass kid, throwing around a wood splitting axe. Dude,
I've done my duty.
Busted up hands. I ain't built for that life. I'm too soft for that. I got radio hands.
After you swing an axe for about an hour, you can't feel your hands for another week.
No,
It's just useless meat claws.
And it's never warm when you're splitting wood.
Yesterday was cold, man. I'll tell you what. And splitting cedar, that stuff's hard. So didn't get a whole lot done. And I don't know why they got want to burn cedar, but we were cracking it. So that'll be my expedition this weekend.
All right. Well, best of luck.
I know you're invited over. I got a 6-pack of beer and half a pizza.
I'm good. It does sound fun, but I
sure?
value my thumbs. Value my. It's really all that separates us from wild beasts is opposable thumbs. I guess like grizzly bears get away without them, but it's a lot more difficult.
They got claws. They got the.
I know.
They got the.
I know.
Well, I was going to say Wolverine claws, but it's really bear claws.
They're but not cinnamony.
No,
and I love.
By the way,
cinnamon bear claw.
Bring this full circle. Thank you for the and I recommend the Whataburger cinnamon.
It's the Mexican hot chocolate coffee.
Respect.
Now
Nice.
Vic didn't
stuff,
get that.
man.
Vic got the regular coffee.
Yeah, this is good.
No, it reminds me of Christmas. It's like horchata.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
This is good.
I do have a complaint about Whataburger though. When you order on the Whataburger app, and it's like,
do it all the time.
it'll be ready at this time. Like, it should be ready at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Which one did you go to?
the one Broadway and 410. It was like it'll be ready at. I was like,
That's open. That one at Broadway and 410's open.
It's open 24/7.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was like it's ready at 4:43 or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
whatever time it. Yeah.
And
and you get there what time?
I'm at 4:40.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I'll wait a minute, and then I get in line right at 4:43, and they're like, oh yeah, pull on around, and then at 4:47 they give me my food and coffee. I didn't have a complex order, but I really did feel like if I just ordered at the drive-thru, it would have been the exact same process.
I'm sure it would have been.
So the app is a scam.
Well, it's hard to believe that the overnight crew at Whataburger at Broadway and 410 are not following the manual.
I mean, give me a break.
You'd think they'd be on top of the manual. Those dudes were asleep when you.
I know. You had to wake them
They
up.
didn't wake up till you hit the.
What, man?
When you went to the
They're probably
drive-thru,
going, who's ordering on the app this
that's
early?
when they realized, like, oh, anybody check the app?
Oh, shit.
Oh no, he's here. Stall him.
I want to give a shout out, Rob, to Tony over at Inkticity tattoo shop. He did my loser tattoo yesterday.
I guess it's not the finished product yet.
I posted it to social media.
Oh, you did? About to say, but it was pre-bandaged.
Pre-bandaged, like so the clean version.
That's right.
Of
Okay,
it.
yeah, the picture I saw. Respect, man. You
that's
took a
pretty
bad
good.
situation. You put, like I called it yesterday, you put lipstick on the pig. It turned out pretty
If
good.
you got to
man.
get a
Respect.
loser tattoo, it's about as good of one as I could have thought of.
It's almost to the point. If I was the commissioner, I'd go, "That's not rough enough, man. No, it doesn't count."
No, they thought
that
it was cool.
Kind of cool.
They're
so,
like,
no.
They were like, dude, the bar is raised for the loser tattoos.
Well, yeah, it's
because
now
everybody
kinda
else,
cool. Yeah.
They're all getting loser written as small as
That's
they
the
can on their
plan.
body. But they still have the word loser on their body. And I was like, well, I'm going to do it. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it cool.
That's kind of like if I'm commissioner, I'm like, dude, sorry,
I
nice tat, but
gamed
no.
the system.
Yeah, you're James Harden of the fantasy penalty game.
But I mean, it's in Spanish, and it does say
It is.
it's, the loser in Spanish.
I was like, dude, absolute respect. You talk about fixing a bad thing. No, I think you have to be very clear from here on out. If any tattoos must say this, you have to have something that it says.
and it has to be in English.
Yeah, in English. Yeah, of course in English. So
Because
everybody knows you lost.
If
That's
I
the
ever lose
point of
again,
this.
I'm getting a Chinese letter like yours that says loser.
Well, it doesn't. It might very well could say loser.
It might. Oh, what a prank that would have been.
That's what I'm saying. That's what, I'm pretty sure that's why I keep this thing hidden. That
dude,
it doesn't say what I think it says.
You told me that your father-in-law paid for it, and I said
he was as drunk as I was.
I said, I bet it does say loser.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm very afraid that it does not say what I think it says. So no one has ever seen it. But for you outdid yourself. It actually looks pretty damn good. And, and the thing is, it'll make for a good story, and it's not embarrassing. You don't have the word loser.
Right. But yeah, it was, and somebody's going to ask about it, and I'll tell them that I lost in fantasy football. That's fine.
Yeah, but at that point, it's a good story. If you had like the letter L right next to your eyeball, like your eye,
yeah, that would suck.
That would be a penalty. See, that's what I'm chasing.
That would suck.
Well, I mean, that'll be next year. That from near on out, you need to fix this.
I played fantasy football for almost 30 years and have never been in last place until this year.
To my knowledge, I never have.
It's embarrassing.
But
quite frankly, it is.
You have to basically, unless it's you, of course, you have to basically quit.
It's like
I don't know how you got last.
And that's what I said. I said, all you got to do is just set your lineup.
Just show up.
If you set your lineup, you pretty much win. And
because 1 in 10, 2 of those dudes have quit. By week
always.
6. Yeah, there's always 2 that have long gone.
But you build a team around Christian McCaffrey and Jalen Waddle, and
no, you deserved it. Don't get me wrong.
It piles up on you pretty quickly, and your good team can turn into not good in a real hurry.
You are, in fact, what is it again?
El Desgraciado.
Desgraciado.
El Desgraciado. All right. All right. Let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll get into the day. We'll begin our sports day. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let's begin our sports day the proper way. If you are feeling good about yourself and like the way you look and are buttoned up, probably heading to or from the gym right now, I'm not talking to you. You've already kind of figured it out. For the rest of us out there that need a little bit of motivation, probably carrying about 20, 25 pounds overweight, or looking at these dancing commercials with those glue-tied folks and thinking, do I want those shots? Maybe that'd be kind of cool, and find out how much those things cost and go, well, maybe if I'm going to lose weight, I need to find another way. Maybe there's something out there better for me. That was me. His name is Dr. Jacob Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. He's a proponent of losing weight the old-fashioned way, the way that you can lose weight and keep it off, the medical way. Less calories, more exercise means a better lifestyle, and that's only really part of what Dr. Torres practices. What he does is put together programs that fit people like us, that might not have been the big workout types, that need to add a few steps to their day, that probably are eating a little bit too much sugar and too much caffeine and just doing a few things every day wrong. It's amazing how quickly things change once you fix just a few things every day. That's just part of the process. He'll supply the motivation and everything you required. All you need to bring is your attitude. I tell everybody, this is not the easiest thing I've ever done for myself. It is the best thing I've ever done for myself, and I want that for you. If it's time to lose weight, call him. The number's 210-468-1891. Here's his website, iffhealth.com. Go there, take the test, read through it, do your due diligence, and then call him and let him explain to you why you will be successful if you work with him. Change your life. Call him today. Come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like we do have a couple of trouble spots this early morning. 410 westbound San Pedro. That's a disabled vehicle. It's blocking the right lane. And a stall at 281 southbound Redland Road, now off to the right shoulder. Still some icy spots in area, so just be very careful as you head out and about this early morning. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage-as-a-service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases, we do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay, things people love.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 1/13 through 1/24. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. While supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
What's up, football fans? BetMGM is giving you the chance to win up to $250,000 in bonus bet credits. It's all part of BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot, where you could be able to split the grand prize with anyone else who bet on the longest touchdown of the week. Log into your BetMGM account today and opt into the promo. Then place an anytime touchdown wager of $10 or more on the player of your choice, up to one player per game. If your player scores the longest touchdown of the week, you'll win a share of the $250K in credits. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada. BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot subject to rules. See BetMGM.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are unrestricted rewards credits that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-858-1199. That's 800-858-1199.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, more reaction to the Dallas Cowboys head coaching search.
RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com. He will join us at 4:35.
He'll always have something interesting to say about the Dallas Cowboys.
He does. He won't be happy. We'll talk about it. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Told you tacos were a bad idea.
The what?
Tacos were a bad idea.
Well, we didn't eat tacos.
Oh, I thought you were burping.
No.
Oh, that was singing.
We had breakfast on a bun.
Bob is the perfect breakfast sandwich.
I went with the ranchero version, which I'd never had before. But you had already said that you love the regular breakfast on a bun, so I didn't differentiate on yours.
It's perfect in its simplicity. And what you had was, I'm sure, wonderful, but it's gilding the lily. It's already a beautiful thing as the lily. You didn't need it.
I wish that it would have had sausage instead of bacon.
Well, that's one of the perfection parts of it. You get more with sausage.
Yeah, because there's there's nothing in between. The gaps are filled.
Yeah, there's just more per volume.
Yeah.
So
I think sausage is an extremely underappreciated breakfast meat. When I say that, I'm exclusively talking about sausage patties, not breakfast links.
Oh, I don't. Well, there are some links that I don't mind, but that's not my go-to.
Smokies?
Well, it's those European bangers, or is that what they call those sausages that the Brits eat for breakfast? I don't like those.
I like patty
Little
sausage.
cat turds.
I don't like that. I like it when there's sausage patties, and I like when I can see little red pepper flakes in them.
The Jimmy Dean.
Yeah.
Have you?
But Whataburger has very good sausage.
They do it good enough you can go buy it. Right?
Yeah.
You ever smoked a sausage, like a whole roll of sausage?
No.
I know a guy in Oklahoma does that. I did it one time. It's good, but
it seems like a lot of work
for just you break it up and put it in queso or something like that. But it was a lot of work for But sausage is that's how I judge meat markets.
It's a good way to do it.
Yeah. I want to see what the chef, how he mixes the meat.
How's your grind?
How's your grind?
Oh, you got any snap?
You got to have some snap on that bite.
Interesting. Not much snap on this. The grind is good. Yeah. Just not much snap.
You emulsified.
I spent a lot of time watching college basketball yesterday. Collegiate basketball.
So as we get into it, and we talked about this pre-show, and I think it's very interesting that I said, I watched a lot of college basketball last night, but I didn't watch a whole lot of any one game. Nothing held my attention, and it probably should have, because there were a couple of comebacks as I was cycling through, probably like 5 games. I wanted to get a taste of all across, but nothing. I didn't see a lot of great basketball last night. And you, on the other hand, said the same thing, But because you had a financial interest in those, you were a little bit more down with it. And I thought, you know what, maybe I normally don't need a little bit of incentive to get into it, but it's time. My internal clock tells me to fly south for the winter and start watching college basketball. So I'm trying to get back into it, but I didn't see anything that like a team or a guy last night that I thought, wow, I'm really going to dive in on this. It was just a bunch of average, hard fought, mind you, good competition, but not a lot of great basketball.
I bet on 7 games yesterday, and knock on wood, I went 6-1. It was a good day.
Well, there were some upsets, so you were playing some edges.
No, I played I think I played all favorites. I had all favorites yesterday, but they all were blowouts. So I didn't sweat a bet yesterday.
Some of that was that too.
Which I'm glad not to sweat a bet, but it meant that none of the games I watched were very good. Texas Tech and Cincinnati were good for a little while.
It was a rock fight, man. That was a defensive battle.
Tennessee blew the doors off Mississippi State.
I didn't see Mississippi State didn't make a shot first 10 minutes. It was 17-0. It felt like before they even made a bucket.
The good games I didn't have any money on, so I didn't really get into them until I saw my app would tell me when they were good late, and I'd flip over. UCLA beat Wisconsin 85-83. I guess that ended up being a good game. Wake Forest beat North Carolina by a point.
That was a late-night game, and North Carolina had to make a run to get it that close. And you're right, North Carolina is not a good team.
No. And then Ohio State beating Purdue, which was a huge shock.
See, I watched a fair amount of the first half of that game and thought it was over.
And that was at Purdue. Man, it's hard to win on the road in the Big Ten, and that's a hell of a win for Ohio State team that I don't think is very good.
I don't know what to make.
I got to give them credit.
Honestly, I don't. There's 2 guys on that team that can play, and if they're not both on the court at the same time, things get out of hand for them. But evidently, they were on the court to close it down because I lost attention and saw this morning that Purdue gave up the ghost. That's embarrassing.
And there's a game last night that I was like, this is a great spot play. It was West Virginia against Arizona State. And I said, West Virginia's going to kill Arizona State. West Virginia, their last game on Saturday was at home, and they beat Iowa State, who is by far the best, well, not by far, along with Houston, the best team in the Big 12. They beat Iowa State at home, and now they get a second home game on Tuesday. I said that crowd is going to be raucous. That is the toughest place to go play. I think on KenPom, where they rank home court
that
advantage,
Morgantown place?
It's number 1 now.
Yeah.
First of all, it's a difficult road trip.
And if you add up history with Hugs, that was a tough place to go.
But I was like, they're going to follow it up with just a crushing performance with his Arizona State team. They're flying in. It's like that's a bad road trip. And Arizona State beat them. I was like, that was my only bet that I lost yesterday was betting them. But I was like, I'm going to bet because West Virginia goes to Kansas State on Saturday. Kansas State's not all that good. But I was like, that's when I'm going to fade West Virginia. But here they're going to hammer, and they blew it. So that was a kind of a big shock. Was it that West Virginia lost at home after pulling off, beating the best team that's going to be in their building this year? They show up with a dud. But
I saw a little Louisville run past SMU.
SMU
track meet.
Nothing. But speaking of track meet, we talked about it yesterday. Alabama 103, Vanderbilt 87. Alabama.
Look out!
It is the sixth time this year that Alabama has scored 100 points in a basketball game.
And Nate Oates has some kind of bizarro streak that he's undefeated when he unveils a new ugly jacket.
Oh, is that right?
So start paying attention to the clothes he's wearing because there's a streak getting going. But that's a well-coached, defense-first, fast break kind of team, which is what SEC has kind of turned into, where the Big Ten's to slow it down, let's use the clock and pick off a couple of guys and wear them down for a fourth-quarter run. SEC is let's ball up half-court defense and get running. And Alabama's so long that if you make one mistake, if your pass is not right there, they're gone. They're down court in a layup. They're getting better.
Well, and this is what's impressive. This is some numbers about them from KenPom. They are the fastest team in the country. Like they play their tempo, average possession length is the fastest in the country. And
where's
then,
Auburn on that? Do we know?
I can tell you.
They probably slow up just a little bit, but those two they play the same game. But go ahead with Bama because I'm so impressed with what Oates has done defensively. I want to see what the numbers are there.
Okay, they are the 46th most efficient defense in the country. But their average, they want you to play. They force you into quick shots because you've got to keep pace with them, and because they make you run your offense faster than you want to, it leads to a lot of mistakes.
Well, if you're in the top 50 in defense, you're playing defense.
Well, they are the third most efficient offense in the country.
Not when you're shooting layups and dunks.
When you are the highest tempo and the third most efficient offense, you're going to score 100 almost every game.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the craziest number on all this, though. They've played the toughest schedule to date in the country.
Well, you got an SEC schedule. I think everybody in the SEC at some point will be able to brag about that.
Well, and they played Purdue, Illinois.
Oh, that's right, that Purdue game.
Houston, Rutgers, North Carolina, Creighton. They went out of their way to test themselves in the even McNeese, who's like a pretty good team. They played all those teams pre-conference, and now they're playing an SEC schedule. And here they sit with one. They're 5-1 in the SEC
and
right
Mississippi State was coming up. Well, not Mississippi State. They lost Tennessee last night, embarrassingly so. But the way Bama is running, that A&M game, I think that's the benchmark for A&M. They played that well against Bama. It tells me how good A&M is, and they're mid-level SEC.
Yeah. So it was a fun night in college hoops last night.
It's crazy that these are conference games. To go, the Wisconsin UCLA game is a tournament game. That's a game you see in March.
Ags have a tough one tonight. They'll be here on our little station or on ESPN2 if you're a television watcher. A&M going out to Ole Miss.
Oh, Chris Beard.
Out to Oxford.
Oh, Taylor's back playing. We don't know why he took a couple of games off, but he's
just never going to address it?
I guess that's the Buzz Williams thing.
It's privacy? I don't know.
That's typical A&M stuff. We'll take care
Very
of it.
odd. Very odd.
But
All
it
right.
helps.
We'll be back. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like we do have a couple of trouble spots this early morning. 410 westbound San Pedro. That's a disabled vehicle. It's blocking the right lane. And a stall at 281 southbound Redland Road, now off to the right shoulder. Still some icy spots in area, so just be very careful as you head out and about this early morning. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at Walmart or straighttalk.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Take the guesswork out of buying and selling your home with Orchard. Hi, Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Will your home sell in time? Which upgrades are worth it? Can you keep your home show ready with a busy life? Orchard has all the answers. With Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, you can buy your new home before selling your old one. It's simple. Orchard gives you an equity advance, unlocking cash to buy your new home first. That's right, you don't have to wait for your old place to sell. You can move in right away. And no more rushing out for showings or constant cleaning, because Orchard sells your old home after you've settled into your new home. Orchard even handles repairs and improvements at no out-of-pocket cost to you. Their local pros know which upgrades bring you the most money, so you sell for top dollar. Buy before you sell and skip the selling hassles with Orchard. Start your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson for Prize Picks, the best place to get real money on your sports action. Me and 10 million other people are playing every day, and now's the time to do it. Have you ever heard of this? You've got a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your season all game long, and now 1,000 times your cash. Heck, I've been a Prize Picks player for a long time. I've not seen this. 1,000 times your cash. It's playoff time. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the fun in the last few weeks of the football season. Prize Picks is the best place to play. Up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get the action on the sports that you're playing, and now you can get up to 1,000 times your cash. Join over 10 million members. Play today. And if you sign up today, you get up to $50 instantly when you play. Use the code ALAMO. Sign up today for 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle! Bringing the heat.
This feels like 90s metal. 80s metal.
Oh, yeah. This is
Slayer.
Oh, there you go.
Old school, man. This was even like, it's fun. I don't know why, but when I was a kid, I was like, Slayer was a little too hard for me. My taste for metal advanced over the years because I loved Pantera, and I loved Metallica.
Right.
But Slayer always felt like
over the line.
It was. I mean, I didn't always understand the words they were saying, and it's like it's just a little intense.
Yeah, the thrash metal was
Yeah,
kind of...
yeah.
It lost me. I guess the peak of my metalldom was Dio and Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went another direction.
My old co-host was very influenced by Judas Priest and like started dressing like Rob Halford, and then he was
Assless chaps.
He was very disappointed to find out that wasn't all for the chicks. Like he wasn't doing that.
None
for
of
the
it
chicks.
was.
Like,
turns out none of it was.
Damn. He's like, man, I modeled my whole game around Rob Halford.
Rob Halford. Did you see I went and
Turns
saw,
out that guy's gay.
Very. That whole leather thing, that wasn't an act.
No.
I saw a show where he rolled out on his Harley and stuck the mic in the throttle.
Yeah.
I guess, did he do that every show?
I think so.
I think that was I have radio ears to this day from that.
Yeah.
That was a blast.
And that was all imagery too. The mic and the tailpipe. You don't think he did that? Tailpipe? Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. There was...
See? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now
That's an aha moment.
That's why I smoke Camel cigarettes. Wait a minute.
See, something should have told you.
That's a big penis.
Something should have told you. What's this microphone look like? Look at this
Why do I feel so comfortable?
Look at this tailpipe.
No.
That's when you're singing songs and you put together the lyrics and go, hey, wait a minute.
When you look up the lyrics.
Man, meanwhile, you got it's always
say
good.
that?
It's always good when you find out before you get it tattooed on you.
Is that what that letter is in
Damn
Japanese?
I didn't realize that what I just got tattooed on me means not what I thought it meant.
Rob, what do you have, a Japanese, Chinese, or Mandarin tattoo?
I had Chinese.
Chinese.
Well, it could be Mandarin. Hell, I don't know. I don't know. The
Or
thing
Laotian.
is, I haven't honestly seen it in probably 15 years.
Wow.
Well, it's on the back of my neck.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those things I gotta go out of the way.
If you had a haircut, would people see it?
No.
Or is it lower?
Lower.
Okay.
It's not my proudest moment. I don't. People are like, what does that mean?
I don't know.
It's supposed to, and even the
Sweet
premise,
and sour.
even the serious, but even the premise is silly. You know, what does it mean? Warrior father.
Well, yeah.
And you're like, oh God, really? Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, just take a picture of it and you can translate it on Google.
See, I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be on the next issue of what's it called? Warped or what's it called?
Well, you can at least get it covered up.
Yeah,
if
what's that? What's
Inked?
that? Inked. It's not called inked. It's when they're fixing things. It's not warped. But it's the plastic surgeon that.
It'll be like I don't know what you're talking about, but it'd be like the tattoo version of Bar Rescue.
Kind of that.
It's like, I had no idea it was this bad.
So all I can come up with.
It's like, this is terrible. How could you let it get to this?
And so I'm going to turn this. It says water. Actually, it says a curse word for female. But anyway, we need to cover this up. So the best I can come up with is some kind of neo-Nazi thing. Like, dude, I don't want that either.
Yeah, I know.
I can come up with a crying. No, I don't want that either. I don't know how you save this thing.
I saw there was a lot of support for Elon Musk doing the Nazi salute, and they were saying, well, it wasn't a Nazi salute, it was a Roman salute.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know that everybody realizes what the Roman salute was. That was like from fascist Italy, like Mussolini started that. And I don't know that that's any better.
Well, when people go, well, that really isn't a Nazi symbol. That's an Indian thing. It goes much deeper. I'm like, well, guess what? It was an Indian symbol. Now it's that.
Yeah, it's been gone.
Now it's Heil Hitler. I don't care what you say it was. No, he's waving goodbye. Sorry. You lost that movement. We're not allowed to do that anymore.
It's like at one point, there was a time when the Christian church used the rainbow, and because the rainbow in the Bible is a reminder of God's promise.
Can't do that anymore.
Now that has been taken over, whether you like it or not. And I know God's promise still holds up, but you see that rainbow, and that's not what you think of.
Now you have to
sometimes the culture shifts, and it gets to a point where if you now say, well, that's not what it means to me.
Sorry.
You're left behind. It's like the Confederate flag. Like, you can say, well, this is my heritage, which I always say, like, oh, okay. I mean, like, your heritage was on the.
Also, there's a lot of other heritage you can claim too, if you like.
But I don't see you raising a flag for that. But now it means something different,
and you lost it. Sorry,
it's gone.
Sorry, it's gone.
Now it means this. So if you want to rep it, that's cool.
But it's repping a lot more.
That's what you're repping, and don't pretend like you're not.
Well, yeeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tell you what, every day I would turn on the news going, kind of wincing. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What? Okay. What?
Oh,
all right.
yeah.
All right.
We'll be back.
Waitress is still working.
We'll wrap up the first hour. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Airrosti. At Airrosti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Airrosti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Airrosti, we fix pain fast.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom! That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies.
to
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first, before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It is playoff time. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You know Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes during the playoffs. Be like me and 5 million other happy players winning money watching games with their Pick'em game, where you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. You can cook up fire entries for a shot to win real cash prizes all playoff long. You can even take football and basketball and mix them together. Underdog is the only Pick'em platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. Now you can either keep riding with your entry or tap the Win Now button to cash out whenever you want. Underdog is the best place to play Pick'em. Download the app, sign up with my promo code STAR, and deposit now and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code STAR. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code STAR. Sign up today.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
What is this?
ATB.
Oh, this sounds like some stuff Pledger would play. This sounds like Krongbin.
Is this Krongbin?
I don't think it sounds like Krongbin.
I think it does.
Anytime it's something made up, I just say it's Krongbin.
It's Krongbin.
Yeah. That's a made-up band. Oh, no, it's actually real. They're called Krongbin. People pay big money to go see that show.
That's right.
Big money. Big money. Very big, very big. The biggest.
I'm kind of down with that. Who is that again?
ATB.
ATV, like all-terrain vehicle?
ATB.
B as in boy.
All-terrain buttholes.
Buttholes? Called 9 p.m. Till I Come.
I'm kind of down with those kind of jazzy, upbeat kind of things.
Oh, yeah. I got a whole hard drive full of them.
Where did you play music like this?
Sunset Station downtown back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
What's the vibe at Sunset Station?
Well, it's changed. It's actually a train station, and it's changed over the years.
But at the time, it had multiple nightclubs. The stations here at the time were broadcasting live from there. And
oh, okay. So it's one of those places. It's like there was one in Austin.
Clubs.
I don't remember what it was, but like you'd go in and you'd go like, oh, if you go upstairs to the right, it's like a dance club. If you're downstairs, it's a country western club.
And it would change even from night to night.
Right, and Sunset Station was just like a big old courtyard, and one building was one club, and then you go outside, then you go into another building that was another nightclub, and it was multiple. But yeah, we had fun back then.
Okay.
It was a different time.
And you were playing this music.
Yeah.
I would leave that club.
This isn't a club I'd stay at.
Yeah, I would be like, yeah, that's cool. I mean,
it was
if it was
packed
dollar drink night, I'd stay.
Yeah.
If it was dollar you call it night, I'd stick around. But if it was full price drinks, I'm leaving.
But that was kind of a temporary space. It wasn't a full time. But you also worked at the bottom, right? You did bottom work.
No, I
never did anything at the bottom.
No, I never worked at the bottom. Just mainly at Sunset Station. Yeah, that was the clubs that I was at.
Okay.
But we used to. Who here used to broadcast from the bottom?
That was Mondo.
Was
back
it Mondo?
In the day. Yeah, Mondo would do it, and then.
Now that's a true club, true dance club that you would not go to.
No,
you'd enjoy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a staple. I went there as a teenager.
They used to have like Drink and Drown Wednesdays.
Yeah.
You know, any bar that had like a straight night. See, the Bottom Exchange is a renowned.
Yeah.
It's a LGBTQ monument, quite frankly, for San
But
Antonio.
Wednesdays was straight night back then.
Yeah,
And
well,
that was whatever.
The myth of straight night, but yeah. It was
that was
kind of like Drink and Drown.
They also
kind of
called that conversion night.
Yeah.
It was
just like college night was Thursday.
Yeah, college night.
And for some reason, all these creepy old dudes showed up on Thursdays.
So it's funny you bring up college night. AJ and I were talking about Fiesta, which is, we're in 2025, and once we get through rodeo, it's time to start focusing on Fiesta.
Yep.
And AJ was running around a part of town, and he mentioned the guy he was with said, yeah, we're kind of close to St. Mary's where I went to school. And I said, oh. He said, well, neighborhoods and whatnot. I said, well, you're going to go there, I guarantee you, because Oyster Bake is just around the corner.
That's what my buddy. So my buddy went to St. Mary's, and he was like, you'll never be in this part of town except for Fiesta. He's like, that's the only time. He's like, that's the only time you'll come down to this part of town.
You and 150,000 others. It's the one time a year we head down Calabria.
He's like, yeah, but you're not going to be around there much. But at Fiesta time, you'll get down there.
We're not far away, man. Almost there. We just got to get through the rodeo. Not get through. It's in San Antonio. The social signpost. The first thing is the rodeo, and the second thing is the
Fiesta.
Bake. And Fiesta is the second thing before. The second thing I guess is the Strawberry Festival. That's really the second thing.
Strawberry Festival.
Oh yeah,
I've never heard of this.
Oh, just south of town, strawberry capital of the world, baby.
I like strawberries.
Poteet, Texas, man.
I eat them every day.
So it's basically the weekend or just a couple of weeks before Fiesta, which Fiesta can bounce around a little bit according to the Easter calendar, which I don't get Easter, why it changes, but so it can be early, it can be late. But traditionally, the weekend prior, or at least 2 weeks prior, is we start our party season going down to Poteet and do the
make our way back.
Strawberry Festival, and then we begin our 10 days of raucous and rowdy.
Yeah, and then you have the
behavior.
river parade and all the parades.
We open up the river parades that Monday. Friday we have two. Friday and Saturday we have our downtown parades.
And then remember La Semana Alegre downtown.
And now, La Semana, aren't they bringing that back?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
La
last
Semana's
year
back.
they did. I thought they did.
See, we're bringing up a bunch of terms for all you new San Antonians. It's the best time of the year to be San Antonio.
Will we get tickets to the San Antonio rodeo shows?
We
have at the station.
We have.
Or do we get credentialed? Maybe
we don't get credentialed, but there are some tickets that pass our way. But the problem we have, quite frankly, AJ, and as I found, I used to work in a cluster that had a country station. We don't have a country station that gets access to those country bands.
Right.
So,
but
when rodeo comes, but the agency that reps those don't call us first; they're calling the country and music stations.
But what about Sam Hagar?
See, we don't even have a rock station.
Doesn't Jack play some Sammy Hagar?
Maybe one.
Maybe every now and then. I think they play the softest Sammy, like 3 Lock Box or something.
But what about Nelly? Well, Nelly?
Again, we don't really have
a hip hop station, huh?
We don't have that.
I could play Nelly and then get us some tickets.
We need to convert one of these stations into a station that changes depending on what tickets we want.
I agree. And what we would do is just promote that
concert
for a month. Yeah. That's all we do in a loop.
And our promo team will just say, they'll call the ticket agency and say, hey, this month we are a country station.
Huge country fan.
Oh, well, let us send you these Dwight Yoakam tickets.
You want to go see Sammy Hagar?
I do. Hagar and Nelly seem like those would be fun shows. I'm not super in on. I don't know a lot of these country-ish bands. Mm-hmm. I know I've heard the Turnpike Troubadours.
Oh yeah,
and I like that band. I would enjoy watching that show. But a lot of these I just haven't heard of.
These are kind of. It's not a full-on show.
And some of the ones that I have heard of, I just don't want to see, like, I'll tell you what, this picture of Keith Urban that they have, it makes me not want to go watch Keith Urban.
He's using the same surgeon his wife is, man. They both go under the knife at the same time.
Keith Urban looks crazy.
He's turning into a woman.
I don't want to see you do anything. That's just me. All right, we'll be back. Morning Huddle 94.1.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Shop limited time deals during Lowe's Pro Savings Days. Get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Valid 1/13 through 1/24 while supplies last.
Right now at Wendy's, get 2 of these fave items for just $7. The spicier classic chicken sandwich, Dave's single, or 10-piece nugs. It's an incredible deal, but an insanely difficult choice. Do you go double chicky sando, both spicy and classic, 1 beefy and 1 chicky? Or maybe you go all in on one and go Nug Max. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating Wendy's for limited time only. Select a request 2 for $7 deal to redeem. Not valid in a combo or with saucy nugs. Single item at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey guys, it's AJ from the Morning Huddle. Between us, when you hit a certain age, things start to feel a little off, right? You're tired all the time, your energy's low, maybe even your drive isn't what it used to be. And a lot of that comes down to testosterone, and trust me, it can happen to the best of us. That's where Game Day Men's Health comes in. They know how we feel, and they make it easy. Game Day Men's Health is over there on Bassey Road, across from the quarry. Their office has a relaxed man cave vibe, and they've built a 3-step process that's quick and designed just for us. First, get your T levels checked. Free testosterone test at their in-house lab. Then, you meet with a licensed provider to create a customized plan. And finally, you'll get those fast weekly treatments. After a month, you're going to notice a difference. More energy, better mood, and a kick in your libido. Don't settle. Be the best version of yourself. Call Game Day Men's Health, 210-900-3691. That's 210-900-3691. Feel better, be better at Game Day.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases, we do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Well, family, this new year is off to a great start. Everybody, how are those New Year's resolutions?
Dear, my resolution is to cut my damaged hair and just start over.
Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water.
Sounds like your family needs to start the new year off with installing a Connecticut water system and get a head start on all those resolutions.
This guy's making sense.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Connecticut. SA.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working a few stalls. Let's start at 281 southbound Encino Rio. This stall off to the shoulder. Another at Loop 410 westbound West Avenue, right shoulder blocked. 1604 southbound at Marbach and Highway 90 eastbound Loop 410. All of these stalls are off to the right shoulder. Main lanes are getting by. I just want to give you a heads up. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out. 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
Well, it finally happened on his 10th and final opportunity to get into the Hall of Fame. Former Houston Astro closer Billy Wagner has finally gotten the votes. He'll go in to the Hall of Fame. He'll be joining Ichiro Suzuki and starting pitcher CC Sabathia in Cooperstown. Cowboys continue their coaching search. They interviewed OC Brian Schottenheimer for that job and the head coaching job. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right. Hey, what do we got? Bills beat Chiefs if James Cook has a day.
I agree with that.
Who made that statement? Kimberly A. Martin.
That is deep football thought.
Of course it is. Of course it is. I give I normally if you expose yourself to me as an idiot, I usually think that everything you say is likely to be stupid, and I hate going like, okay, that was pretty good. Like, you actually got something for me there. RG3 is an idiot. He is a
is he trying to be an idiot, or is he an
I
idiot?
I
just
honestly
by
don't know.
design?
I don't know if it's like clickbait, like if it's like Skip Bayless. I really don't think Skip Bayless. He can't possibly believe the things he says.
Doesn't. That's ham-handed. I know that's fake.
And then there's other people like Cowherd, who I know, like one of my best friends is a writer on Colin Cowherd's show.
Which I didn't know he had writers, but
I mean, I'm talking about a full staff. Yeah. That's why you see on videos all the time where he'll say one thing and then say the complete opposite thing like 2 days later. It's because his writers get mixed up, and like he doesn't have his own opinions. He's a puppet. But he says things, and I always take them with a grain of salt because I know what he is.
Be his. I got you.
I don't know what RG3 is, like what his plan is.
He's just not good at stirring the pot. So when he throws some hand grenades out, you know he doesn't mean that, but he's just trying to stir the pot, and he's not good at it.
But he did say, and I've heard the opposite a lot. So I can see both sides of it, but he tweeted that he said, watch the tape again. The Buffalo Bills were simply the better team that day against the Baltimore Ravens.
Despite all the numbers.
He said Lamar showed great leadership and poise to pull his team back into the game after his early mistakes, but Josh Allen was better simply because he protected the ball, and it's as simple as that.
Well,
He said, no one's immune to criticism for the plays they did or didn't make. This is the big leagues, and when you play in a heavyweight matchup like that, turnovers, drops, and penalties are all magnified.
I agree with all that. What's wrong with that?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's kind of brilliant, yes.
He said the Bills deserve more credit than they're getting for having a masterful defensive game plan to slow down Lamar and Derrick Henry while capitalizing on their mistakes.
AJ, that's, for me, what shocked me more than anything else. I knew Allen was going to be okay. I knew that they'd be able to do that, and Allen would not be the reason if they lost. I had no idea that defense could be – they were good, but it's the pressure they applied. You know, I didn't know they were capable of finding the gaps and getting upfield the way they did all game long against a team that should have been able to stop it.
So I didn't realize – I mean, when I was watching the game, I was like, man, the Bills are – they're playing stacked box. They're playing a lot of man-to-man. This is not typically Bills.
Worked.
I didn't know these stats, but he said Sean McDermott and Bobby Babich put together a beautiful plan and changed their identity completely.
Mm-hmm.
Played the most man coverage they have since 2022. They played 46.7% man in that game. Leaned heavily on 4-3 personnel and 5-man fronts to get pressure and stop the run. And it says we have to start focusing on what the Bills did right to win the game and not on what the Ravens did to lose.
Well,
the Bills earned their praise.
He's protecting Lamar because Lamar
that might be the case.
There's some of that. But the difference in that game, Josh Allen didn't have to be superstar. He was, but he didn't have to be. That defense was so spot on perfect. And the press thing, I do think it helped that they didn't have Zay Flowers. I do think you were able to do some things against the Ravens that you probably wouldn't ordinarily be able to do.
But we said that at the beginning of the playoffs.
Right.
Like they lost their one downfield threat.
So that allowed that. But there's always a bunch of reasons for success and excuses for failure. But no, I think for this, RG3 hit it right on the head. Absolutely. But superstars need that. Josh Allen needed some help. That's what gets you over the top. And there'll be a game. It'll probably be this one where Josh is going to have to win it himself.
I also think that, and while I agree that you're right, I think Josh Allen often falls victim to this. I think Josh is an ultra-competitive dude, and obviously he's very gifted. But I think when that happens, sometimes you feel like you've got to take the game into your own hands.
Yeah.
And I think there's a certain amount of maturity and to be disciplined enough to not fall into that all the time and know when to do it and when not to. And this was a game that it felt like it was the best thing for him not to.
Well, there's a play. Remember, we talked about it in the first half. Oh, no, at the end of the game, it was he charged into the line, and it was going to be kind of a RPO, and he turned and he saw Cook, and it looked like he was just about to pitch it.
And he said,
no. We'll just go ahead and take the kick. And that was a pivotal moment in my mind. That was the Brett Favre going, no, I'm not going to throw it that way. I'm not going to try to thread the needle. I'm going to just go ahead and take the easy bit and, not go broke making a profit.
And sometimes that, like, I get it. Like, I get that we like it when these dudes, like, make these balls out awesome plays. But there is something to protecting the lead and not making a mistake in a key time. And this is like Josh Allen. That's really what kept Josh Allen from getting over that hump for a long time was he would do all these great things and then he would do something boneheaded to screw it up, a la Brett Favre. And in this game, he didn't do it.
Well, I say Favre. It could have been There's 100 quarterbacks that once they accepted the fact that they weren't superhuman, it didn't have to be superhuman.
Favre never accepted that.
Well, no, he didn't. But, it took a little bit of discretion to get there. But the best example are guys like Elway. Elway had to tune it back. And, Kelly even had to tune it. Never got the Super Bowl, but even Kelly had to bring it back. You don't have to do everything to go win it, even though you're capable of doing everything.
And that's the thing. The guys that you're mentioning, and Josh Allen's included in this, are guys who are so physically gifted that when they're able to do everything on the football field, so you think, well, they're just going to do everything. But sometimes doing everything's not the way to do.
You need a team.
Sometimes you need to not do everything and just let the rest of your team hold on to things. And that's what the Bills did and the Ravens didn't do.
And maybe at the end of the day, when we write the postmortem for Lamar's career, which seems to be headed in a very different direction.
Who knows? He might win an MVP in 2 weeks.
Again, and that still won't move the needle for Lamar. He is as far as he's going to go in this game without a Super Bowl. He could add 5 more MVPs. He is already at a level that he will not ever surpass until he wins. Reaching one now, after all this, will just be a little bit of a kiss from your sister. It won't be enough. Lamar is now to the point where only a victory, a Super Bowl championship, will get him past the Barkley status, was what he's about to have. You know, the one that couldn't do it, the Dan Marino, the next one that just, for whatever reason, just was cursed. And
although, that said, if Josh doesn't win it this year, he's back in the line.
He still will be there. But he's, I feel like he's got more time to do it and hasn't had the other things around him like Lamar has. I felt for a couple years it was, Josh alone and Josh learning.
Josh Allen doesn't have the best running back in the world standing behind him, or one of the 2 best running backs in the world. You're right. But that said, one of these guys has to take that step. And Josh Allen, if Josh Allen needs to get to a Super Bowl first, he probably needs to win one eventually, but he needs to get one, certainly.
Getting
get to
there is
one.
the progress.
Joe Burrow got to one, and I think that's put him on a different level. And
before we leave Joe Burrow, where is he in the decision-making tree? He never has had the Josh Allen gunslinger. I can get it done by myself. So he's never had.
He's a quick read guy. He's not. Joe Burrow plays within himself probably about as well as any quarterback in the league. That's why I think makes Joe Burrow so great.
And he did it the moment he stepped out of college.
And because Joe Burrow is not. He's not physically blessed like those other guys.
You're right.
He's got tools, but he's not a huge arm. He's not he's not a runner. Like, he's just a guy who is a good decision maker, and is a winner. Quite frankly,
to be a coach that can hone in and bring a remarkable talent back, just to convince a guy who's fully capable of doing everything that don't do everything. You don't have to, or you can't. That's such a tightrope walk. You see why those OCs that can figure it out with that quarterback, why they're such a tough get. Like, you got to find a guy who can rein them in because they've been so good for so long.
I'll tell you what, a guy who his entire career was so careful to not make mistakes that it almost worked to his detriment or to his team's detriment at times is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was so obsessed. And if you go through, Aaron Rodgers' career stats, go year by year, the interception numbers, the low numbers that he posts year after year are incredible, particularly the 8 to 10 years of his prime. It's like, oh, my God, how did he threw that many passes and had 2 interceptions all year. It's incredible.
But
here's why: because he didn't want to ruin his team's chances at a win, but also to his detriment, there were times when the team would have probably been better had he taken some chances,
done some Brett Favre stuff,
and he was willing to go to the locker room, without taking a shot because he didn't want to ruin his stats.
Do you think it's because he sat on the bench and watched Brett Favre, gunsling himself out of Green Bay?
Probably.
That he decided, I won't be that guy.
Well, I mean
that's an interesting thought.
I think part of it is you start getting this reputation, and remember there was a time when Aaron Rodgers was, and Aaron Rodgers is still, quite frankly, considered one of the best quarterbacks that have ever played because of his stats.
And he
won 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I consider Dan Marino in that group too, and he didn't win any.
Much like I think Aaron Rodgers is like a name brand Drew Brees,
I see. In hindsight, I think 5 years from now, when you look back and get a chance to really see and get past him just being the douchebag that he is, that you'll go, you know what? Respect.
I do.
When he gets
respect
that first, he'll be a Hall of Famer, first ballot, all the stuff, and we'll look back and go, holy crap. But that guy could do it like nobody else.
But I also think there's things that he could have done that he decided, I'd rather protect my numbers, protect my legacy.
There were some business decisions, not getting around it. But I do think he takes an unfair rap because he's such a jerk. And if we just look at the numbers and go, he was remarkable in his time and in his place, but even he had to make some career decisions that maybe some of us.
But there's times when it's like, I'd like to see you take a chance. I'd like to see you be a gunslinger because that's the only way you're going to give your chance a team to win.
Therein lies the witchcraft, right? I mean, we hear RG3 talking about the discretion. That's why suddenly he's so good. But the lack of discretion is what got him to those first couple of big games. You know, the idea that I can do something that nobody else in the world can do, and how dare you tell me I can't?
And there's sometimes where, and it might be a case this weekend with Buffalo against Kansas City, like you have to make a decision, particularly as a coach. How careful can you be and still have a chance to win? How cautiously can you play and still have a chance to win? Because I said this to my buddy who we were watching the national championship game. We were texting back and forth about it, and he was like, with Notre Dame, like why isn't Notre Dame? Why are they kicking a field goal here? I was like, do you think Notre Dame is looking at this game going, yeah, we'll beat Ohio State with field goals? Like, they know they've got to go for it because that's their only chance to win. Like. Sometimes you do have to go for it. And there's times when Aaron Rodgers said, I'm not into that. Josh Allen has shown to be both in his career, which is a good thing.
You have to mature into one. The ones that the unicorns are Burrow, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's why he's great.
And I'd much rather have a guy that I had to say don't throw it than a guy that I had to convince to throw it. Like, dude, just wing it, man. I have to get you. You have to throw it.
Which is why I have such a hard time knocking Lamar, but it's just. Unfortunately, it seems like every time he pushes to make a play in the playoffs, he costs them.
There's a guy in every generation, in every sport, that just inexplicably cannot get there. Yeah. I don't know why, but there are certain guys, and it's not their mentality, it's not their attitude, it's just circumstance and luck. I don't know how some dudes get it, and it's getting to where Lamar is this generation's. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Is he going to?
We like him. We love him. There's no reason not to like him. He's just not going to get it done.
Is it dissimilar to James Harden, a guy who's a statistical monster? But
across all sports, there's those dudes that for whatever reason, whatever team, and it's normally several teams and different coaches and different genres and different things. But when they arrive, whatever, it just doesn't work. Just for whatever reason, it's never their fault.
Yeah.
In fact, they're normally the reason they got that far. But they get hung with the can't do it kind of moniker, and we're what? I still think Lamar's got 5 years of high-end football if he wants to do it. But with every passing second, he is a little bit less than what he was.
He's 28 years old now. He's going to slow down.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to slow down. The good news is his arm is better than it was, so he can start to rely on a different skill set. But when you rely on your legs, your career is shorter by about 6 years.
Yep. But, I mean, Josh Allen's in the same boat. Quite frankly, and
probably taking a few more licks.
Yeah, Josh Allen is so much more willing to take hits.
And he's still got 5 years. I think both these guys still got time, but I think Lamar's headed in a different direction. He has reached his peak, which we hope isn't a plateau.
All right, we'll hit a break. We'll be back. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I hope you woke up this morning feeling good about yourself. I hope you didn't hurt something over the weekend. Shoveling that snow can lead to a stiff back. Did you have to get out and get something, woke up this morning sore? If you are, don't live with pain. You can get it fixed quick. Don't rely on something over the counter that'll just dull and hide or keep the pain or the problem from actually fixing. Call Airrosti. Airrosti providers are all around San Antonio, highly trained medical professionals with one job, one mission. That's to get you out of pain as fast as possible. And it's how they do it that has made them so successful. Now, it doesn't matter the place. It could be an ankle, could be an elbow, could be a shoulder, could be your neck, could be tension headaches. You roll an ankle, you sprain something. Did you pull a muscle? Do you have a strained back? Airrosti can help fix it all. Maybe you've got those lower back issues, those tension kind of grabs, those torsion kind of cramps that people get. I have lower back issues. They fixed that. I know a good friend of mine had a shoulder issue, frozen shoulder, never dealt with it. She got it done, taken care of quick, and that can happen for you. And here's the good news about Airrosti is you don't have to wait to get fixed. You don't need a referral. You can call them today and very likely get in today because there are so many providers around town. To find them, go to their website, Airrosti.com. There's a good map of all the providers. They're adding new ones every day. Or if you'd like to go ahead and make the call, go ahead and do that. You don't need a referral. The number is 1-800-404-6050. Call them today. Go see a doc today. Get yourself fixed, and before you know it, you're back in the game. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call Airrosti today. Let them take care of you. And what they do, come on by and thank me later.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies.
to
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance. But Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Now at North Park Chevrolet, buy a new 2025 Chevrolet Malibu RS posted at $21,999 plus low 1.9% financing. Got a $1,000 owner loyalty bonus on new 2025 Trailblazers plus 3.9% financing for 75 months. And make no payments until May 2025 on new 2025 Trax. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com. Must qualify for financing offers. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
James Fletcher with San Antonio Sports Star here. Have you played Pick 6 from DraftKings? The playoffs are here and time is running out. As the official daily fantasy sports partner of the NFL, DraftKings does fantasy sports like no one else. Play for better payouts on Pick 6. It's super easy to get started. Just select 2 or more players, choose if they'll have more or less of a stat. Pick 6 is available in most states including Texas, Missouri, California, Georgia, and more. And DraftKings is making it even sweeter for first-timers. New Pick 6 customers play $5, get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Win more cash on Pick 6. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use code KTFM. That's code KTFM for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus award is non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 30 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promo.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle 94.1. You know which one I like, Vic? I like Andale Mama Ia.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I like the stomping in my Air Force One song.
Yeah, those are good, man.
And you are always stomping in Air Force Ones because they're not. Air Force Ones are. You have to sacrifice comfort for style if you're wearing Air Force One. No one says, "Oh, I wear these Air Force Ones because they're so comfortable." Because that's a lie. They're not.
Here the thing with Air Force Ones more than that by the time you finally get them comfortable, they're creased and you can't wear them.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I bought the things to.
I've tried that, but
have you tried those?
Yeah, but I want them creased.
Oh,
that's just it. I want them.
That's what makes them comfortable.
So my Air Force Ones are uncool because I'm not. I like Air Force Ones. I I always have at least 2 or 3 in the
Are
rotation.
those the ones that squeak when you walk?
No, the Jordan brand. I have 3 Jordan brand shoes, and
Jordan
every
4s,
one
I
of them
think.
squeaks.
Are they the 4s, right? The black ones that
I've
you
got
had?
a 4s, and I've
Yeah.
got a pair of 11s,
Okay.
and I've got a pair of 2s, and all 3, which are in my rotation, I wear them.
Yeah.
They're not show shoes. They're not wrapped in cellophane and resells. These are ones that are in the rotation. Every one of them, like only one of them squeaks.
And it's always left foot.
It's like one foot. I don't know if it's my stride, my limp,
walks, yeah.
but and it's only the Jordan brand that does it. But when I wear them, I can't commit any crimes. You can hear me coming.
definitely.
I
He's
can't
coming.
jack
There he
you
goes.
from behind because I'm squeaking with one foot.
Fred says, man, AJ, you are now white what Ryan Day is dyed black. What is he talking about? Like,
What?
Your beard, maybe?
I don't know. I mean, I've always been white.
Yeah, I don't think you've been anything else.
Since I've been born. As long
Yeah.
as you've known me,
You were
right?
born
Yeah. You weren't Mexican yesterday.
No. But I am, someone did comment on my picture. He said, even though, he's like, I don't care, fantasy football or not, that's puro San Antonio.
It is,
right
man.
there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no one would think you
So
lost.
yesterday, AJ sends me a picture of the tat.
Yeah, yeah.
He says he's going. And I see the picture, and I'm like, wow, that looks really good. Where have I seen this drawing? I've seen this drawing. Was it like from a cartoon, or was it from like a Emil Mascaris poster from years ago? Because I've seen literally that, and I can't place it. It's your phone.
Yeah, my
It's
phone
your
case.
phone
Yeah,
cover.
yeah.
That's where I got the inspiration for it. I was
Yeah.
like,
I was like, that's awesome. It really does look good.
I said I need a luchador, but who looks like he's gotten his ass kicked. So my luchador is like,
Well
he's
done.
got a busted eye and
Yeah,
a broken
yeah.
nose and bloody lip, and his mask is torn.
And loser.
I wouldn't let that fly.
Desgraciado.
It looks too good.
Yeah, but see, your
who's-
body's perfect for that. You're a canvas to make the colors stand
Oh yeah,
out.
you are
Yeah.
the white canvas that
Yeah.
Michelangelo craved. Who did it?
Tony Voss. Tony Voss
An
over at
artist.
Inktincity Tattoo. He did a great job.
How long did it take?
2 hours.
That's
Painful?
about right.
No, I mean, I've had one tattoo ever that I thought was like really painful. Now I've had some that are annoying, like the one on my. I have it's probably about the size of a loaf of bread on my back.
Okay. Was it an all at once?
All at once, and it's got a lot of color. And you have to sit hunched over with your arms crossed, or your back will be stretched out the whole time. And when it hits your spine, sometimes your leg will kick out like uncontrollably, like it hits a nerve.
Yeah.
So that was annoying. But the only tattoos I've ever got that really hurt were on my collarbones.
Oh, no
but
way.
this is on anytime it's a meaty part of your body, it doesn't really hurt.
Luckily, I got a fair amount of meaty parts.
Exactly.
So there's not a lot of external bone to worry about.
Yeah.
I protected it. It's under a protective wrap.
Yes, that's the best part to tattoo. Is the protected wrap part.
You had said you were going to go do it. I didn't realize it was going to be so immediate.
Oh yes.
I mean,
I cut my nap short. I had an appointment. I had to go brave the elements to get there. But my tattoo artist could do it. I could do it too. Although by the time I got there, it was like 40 degrees and the sun was shining. It was kind of awesome.
Were you just like alone in there, or were there?
No, there was one other guy there getting tattooed, and he was getting tattooed on his shin, which was the other option for me. I was like, do I want to get this on my shin or on the back of my calf?
And then you're looking at him going, all struggling.
And he was hurting, and my artist was like, he's like, man, it looked good either place, but he's like, it'll suck on the shin. I'm not gonna lie to you, it'll suck. And he also said it'll be harder to make it look like a square. Like because your shin only has like it's not.
It's
flat.
it's only flat so much.
So
yeah.
When this is going on for those hours, are you talking? Are you having a conversation? Or are you just like
no?
You're
so
just,
he's working and you're just like
he's working,
raw dogging it, staring into space.
No, I was playing on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I was playing like Block Blast or whatever.
So you're
and,
not
like,
talking like having a. He's busy. He's like focused.
Yeah, we would talk when he stopped working. And
when he changed needles or something.
Yeah,
the
or
pattern,
he would change colors, but he'd give me updates on this is looking cool.
Okay, see, that's what I was going to say. I'd like an update every now and again.
Or it'd be like,
it won't stop bleeding.
I don't want to hear oops.
He's like, he was, and sometimes so once he got done with all the stuff, he was like, I was thinking about doing these like the color burst. He's like, I was thinking about doing red, and then I said, yeah, let's do red. And then he started with the red, and then it got to where, like, about halfway, and he's like, now do we want, and it kind of faded out.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, do we want to leave it like that, or do you want to fade it to orange? And I said, fade it to orange. I think that sounds cool. And he was like, what color do you want the mask to be? Because on his original draw up, it was a black mask.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, I said,
that's a lot of blackout. Yeah.
I said, I want it to be, because you, like, part of it is I can see that the mask is ripped, so you can see the guy's hair coming out.
Oh,
I said,
right.
I said, well, he's got to have black hair. I said, so I want him to be a purple mask. So he got like this red violet color and made his mask. And it ended up being cool, man. He did a really good job.
It's cool. It's as good as it could be.
Yeah, for a loser tattoo, it's about as good as I could hope.
Valiant effort that you got to get there.
Adam says, off topic, but did you make it to the sports card store the other day? I did. A place called Boomtown. Good folks, and they kind of helped me out, helped me get what I needed to get started, and showed me some stuff. So, yeah, I'm in.
You got
I'm in the
Colt
game.
starter.
You're
pack.
hooked.
You got the Colt starter pack.
And then
well on your way.
then Zach says Jaden Daniels is top 5 QB in the NFL, and then the reason why I know he thinks that is he says HTTR HTTC, which is hail to the slurs and hail to the Commanders. But I think Jaden Daniels is probably already a top 10 quarterback. He ain't a top 5 quarterback. That takes a little more. Takes a little more
doing. To be a top 5 quarterback, you have to have done something. He hasn't done anything yet.
He's won 2 playoff games on the road. I'm impressed, but
do something.
Do it more than once.
Yeah, do something.
Because otherwise, I mean, why, if that's the case, then why isn't C.J. Stroud a top 5
Well, he's
quarterback?
doing it. I'm saying, but he hasn't done it. He's doing. It's not done. And maybe when we reevaluate at the beginning of next season, after all the pieces and parts are in play, he's going to be a top 10, maybe a top 5, but not yet.
I don't think so. But what's funny is the top 4 feels so locked in.
Yeah.
That 5th spot, it's I don't really know. I
It
guess
could be
it
him.
kind of depends on what you like.
You win at least one more game, it'll be hard to argue not.
But I think the top 4, there's not really an argument.
No, they're so far
who
ahead of
those
everybody
4
else.
guys are. That 5th spot, I guess it could flex depending on the night. Like, and if you want to make an argument for Jaden Daniels, I guess I'd hear it.
Yeah. But he hasn't done it yet.
I still probably go with Matt Stafford. Might be my 5th guy, which I know he's on the downslope, but that's a guy who I know has gone and done it.
I think we could
is still playing at a pretty high level.
I think there's 3 or 4 guys, Stafford one of them, that you could make the argument, and I could make enough anti. That's why we're debating that number 5. So I don't even think there's a number 5. I think there's 4 and everybody else, and they're just on a next level. They're a level that I would love to have a quarterback on, but they're just not sitting with first ballot Hall of Famers.
And there's guys I know could be that, like C.J. Stroud could easily end up being a top 5.
And last year?
God, if Justin Herbert ever figures it out, I mean, you talk about God-given talent, he's got more than anybody. But, yeah, right now, I don't know. I guess that 5th spot, if you want to say Jaden Daniels, you know what? I won't argue with you.
I might be rooting for him this weekend, and that's hard enough.
I will be rooting for him this weekend, quite frankly. All right. When we come back, we got to talk about this Cowboys coaching situation. There was a report yesterday that really kind of made me scratch my head about who the Cowboys are interviewing. But we'll talk about that next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm going to tell you guys now about Game Day Men's Health. And if you are feeling a little sluggish, you are not where you want to be physically. You maybe you're struggling in the gym. Maybe you're not sleeping really well. Maybe you're not as you don't have as much oomph in the bedroom as you once had. Well, friends, Game Day Men's Health, they can fix that. They can take care of those problems. They know how you feel, and they want to make it easy for you to do this. First of all, they've got a convenient location, 250 East Bassey Road, right there in the quarry. Great spot, got a great vibe, and guys, they do everything in one swoop. So there's no like going to this place to get your blood work done and then going over here to get your treatment. No, they did everything. Blood work, consultation, went over all my best options, did my treatment. I was out the door in an hour. That's what I'm looking for. I got better things to do, especially now that I've got all this energy. I don't want to be sitting in an office. Guys, don't settle. Be the best version of yourself. Give Game Day a call, 210-900-3691. That's 210-900-3691. Be better. It's game day.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, heads up on the west side. We've got a stall on Highway 90 eastbound, the connector to 410. That connector partially blocked. A little bit of stop and go starting right around 1604. 1604 southbound at Marbach. That's a stall that's off to the shoulder, and another at 410 westbound West Avenue, right shoulder blocked. That stall at 281 southbound Encino Rio has cleared. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
On Super Sunday, you could be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom. That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
To...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance. But Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My check engine light's on?
That could hurt your gas mileage. The AutoZone free Fix Finder service can help find the fix for free.
This whole report for free?
That's right, printed and on your phone for free.
But what if the fix is too tough?
We'll recommend a local shop. Fix Finder, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
They've got great food here at the Root Pub.
You forgot about the bison burger.
I didn't forget about it necessarily, no, but a chicken sandwich sounded better than a beef sandwich. Does that make sense?
Well, no, because bison isn't necessarily beef.
Well, so what would another word for bison be? I mean, you don't say I want a cow burger. Give me the similar to beef burger. Think they know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jason Minix from the Blitz. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yes. Yes. Hickory dickory dock. You got to be careful saying that.
Yeah.
I'm running the Brooklyn block, right?
Yeah, I don't have a clean version of this, so I got to get out of it already.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. Get out of there. Get out of there.
I just like the beginning.
I got to fade it out fast.
There you go.
Finish your thought.
The Dallas Cowboys, this is interesting to me, and I maybe this is me being ignorant of how the Cowboys do business, and that's entirely possible. But it seems to me with the reports now that Shoddy is not only interviewing for Brian Schottenheimer is not only interviewing for the head coach position, but also for the offensive coordinator position. If he doesn't get the head coaching job, you can't. Why are you interviewing an offensive coordinator until you know who the head coach is? Because are you gonna not let your new head coach pick his own offensive coordinator?
The last three? Last two didn't? McCarthy didn't get to pick his OC.
But McCarthy got to call plays.
He didn't. Well, and Garrett was the OC for Phillips. Phillips didn't pick his OC. In fact, Garrett was getting paid more than Phillips was. This is exactly the playbook. This is what he does, which is an utter freaking nightmare.
It's insane.
I keep trying to figure that he's got a plan here. Maybe there's when weak appears strong, and when strong appear weak, and when stupid acts smart, and when your smart acts stupid, whatever it might be. I'm trying to figure out what exactly the game plan is here, because Shoddy is already in the building. What are you talking about interviewing? You know this cat. He's the last interview. You're not the first. You got an extra 15 minutes. You talk to Shoddy. He's been in the building. You know exactly who he is. And if he's been a half-assed good employee, you know where he's going. You should have a pretty good idea. Now, I get you have to offer the formal interview. That's part of the process with the NFL. But I don't get why we're not. Interview another random OC. Fine. I'd bring in some other fool that I hadn't heard of. You think if Schottenheimer is the last choice, if this is real, it defies explanation.
It doesn't feel serious
unless somebody else that has interviewed has said, I will take an OC who will do this, and they're trying to figure out if he will do that. I can't imagine a world where Brian Schottenheimer is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Was there anything about the Cowboys' offense this year that made you go, man, that guy, he deserves a bump?
That's worth a question. Okay, so this year probably is not the best example of what this offense is capable of. So let's think about last year. Last year coming into the season, a year ago, they decided, and it was primarily Schottenheimer that was behind this new timing offense. They were going to count steps. Remember, they were doing all this stuff, and it was more about getting the receivers on time, on target, and, getting the offensive line, the quarterback, and the receivers all in that 3-second drop, and everybody, it was all timing, and it didn't matter the dude, and they were trying to implement it. And for the most part, it kind of worked a year ago. Not last season, but the season prior. Yeah. And this year, it didn't for a lot of reasons, CD, injuries, offensive line, it just never worked. But if we go by what we saw a year ago, and this was Shoddy's idea, this was all Shoddy's offense, all the timing, all this stuff, this was why he was hired. There was a modicum of success, and it did put Dak into an MVP conversation. And he would be, to the extent, a puppet to Jerry. It fills a lot of the boxes for the Cowboy world, and it certainly goes into what exactly has been done before, but it is just a nightmare scenario. And so you have to find a guy who obviously will hire his heir apparent, who evidently is Jason Witten, I guess. That seems to be the background of this, that Witten will eventually be the coach, I think. So You have to be a coach that will come in and hire this guy.
Like all the things you're saying, I'm just like, this all sounds crazy.
It's all crazy. So who would do this? If you have to hire your heir apparent, you have to go by and you're obviously going to have to run an offense that either your quarterback has said, I won't, that's the only thing I can do. And that might be it, the only thing he can do. So maybe he can't find a person to interview. Maybe we're thinking like there's a big long list and he's getting turned down. Like, no, I'm good here. I'm not going to come there.
I guess so. I guess that's a possibility.
Well, explain to me what else is going on.
I can't. Again, I'm not going to pretend to try and understand the mind of Jerry Jones because I clearly don't. I like the idea that he fired Mike McCarthy is wild to me, especially knowing that chances are good you're going to end up with a less qualified head coach. And I think now, I mean, I don't think there's a way you don't now.
And Aaron Glenn, now he wasn't a candidate, I don't think, for the Cowboys job, but he was worth an interview. He was worth bringing him in, if nothing else, but for the Rooney thing. I mean, seriously, this guy's going to take the Jets head coaching job, and he was probably imminent for that no matter what because of his ties to the team. But, you didn't even interview him. You didn't even try.
This is now Aaron Glenn did go yesterday to the Jets, and Aaron Glenn said that apparently with apparently you're right. The Jets job is his if he wants it.
Yeah, it appears that it's imminent.
But there's some things now that, like Aaron Glenn saying that he wants to be the head coach and bring in a veteran DC who's been a head coach before. Like he wants someone who's had that experience behind him. Like those are all the things I want my young coach to say, a coach who's never been a head coach, and some guys are scared to have that. Some guys feel intimidated by having a guy behind them who's more experienced.
Well, you got to hire the right guy. Make sure you're not hiring the guy that wants your job, too.
Jordan Schultz said yesterday, Aaron Glenn has landed back in Detroit via Woody Johnson's plane. No deal as of now, but a substantial offer was made, and the Jets job is, quote, his if he wants it. Glenn is currently constructing his potential staff, which ideally include Lions quarterback coach Mark Brunell, if he doesn't get the OC job in Detroit, who could be in play as the OC for Glenn. I'm also told Glenn wants to bring in a veteran DC who's been a former NFL head coach, and former Jets special teams coach Mike Westhoff could be an option should he decide to come out of retirement. And Glenn currently already has an interview lined up later this week with the Saints, but nothing with Dallas yet.
And obviously not a candidate because Jerry's, by the names we've seen, Saleh was a defensive guy.
But why not?
Frazier?
Why would the Cowboys not?
See, that's what it just doesn't. None of this adds up. So I keep thinking if it doesn't add up, he's either smart like a fox or literally has no idea that there's three different guys in the room. Him, Steven, and Will, whoever he listens to, and all three of them have a different opinion, and he has no idea which way to turn.
Yeah.
And which is really the worst-case scenario, unless, of course, he listens to the one guy who has any sense, and I'm not sure any of those guys up there have any sense, because my guess is if he was alone and he wasn't listening to his brother or his son or his closest confidants, then McCarthy would still be a head coach, and he would have offered him more money.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think he would have even paid to keep him. And I think he listened to somebody else. And now they're just grasping at whatever can get them through the night. Get the bridge, find somebody that'll be here for 2 years while we get through the night of the Dak Prescott contract, and then we'll start anew. But until that is over, out from underneath us, we can't do anything.
I'm getting I'm seeing a lot of people who are like really pro Mike Zimmer, which is odd to me considering that the Cowboys defense was so horrific this year.
Well, what do you make of Fossil leaving? Bones Fossil has left for the Titans. While he was just the special teams coach, he was far more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the heart and soul of that coaching staff, and had been through
deal.
a couple. And that tells me he believed that there was no future here, which either that means Zimmer is definitely staying or he feels like whoever's coming in isn't going to keep him around as the special teams coach. So I don't know what to make of that jump.
That's surprising to me. But like you said, maybe he knows internally. my thought was, I don't even know Mike Zimmer would be back as DC. My assumption was that
he was helping a buddy out.
A new coach was going to come in and say, I'm picking my own guys, and maybe a head coach would want to pick Mike Zimmer, but the Carolina Panthers, I know you'll say, oh, they had injuries. The Carolina Panthers are the only team in the league that gave up more points this year than the Dallas Cowboys. That's crazy. I don't care how many injuries you have.
Right.
You shouldn't be in that discussion. Your defense shouldn't be in the discussion with their points allowed falls right between the Tennessee Titans and the Carolina Panthers, who are both picking near the top of the draft. You shouldn't be that and then still be feeling like you've got a job if you're that DC.
I felt like Zimmer was here to help out a bud. I'm going to come out of retirement. I will do what I do. I didn't think he had any aspirations other than that. But the longer that the Cowboys go without a viable true candidate, Schottenheimer cannot be a viable. And I say that knowing that Jason Witten is a viable true candidate because that seems to be the future. As long as that's part of the plans, then your coaching pool, your candidates are pretty slim, man. I don't know why you'd want to come here other than you take the job when it's offered no matter what.
And what has Jason Witten done to warrant
you want a state championship at Liberty.
Right. Well, the whole thing is very confusing to me. I don't know the inner workings of how the Cowboys do business, but in general, hiring an OC and a DC before you hire your head coach is wild behavior.
It is ass backwards, cart before the horse. But I will say this. With every passing day, until I literally see Deion Sanders sign a renewed, reinvigorated contract, I'm still thinking they're figuring out a way to get it done. Until I see Colorado or until somebody else signs it, I will believe that Deion is still a front runner.
You're probably right because it would be very, very Jerry.
Because he's running out of options, man.
Yeah.
He cannot come to his fandom and hire Brian Schottenheimer as the head coach. He can't come to us and do that knowing that this is for the first time in 25 years. There's genuine anger here. There's genuine, I'm out. I'm legit done. And I think the numbers will bear that out as we go through here. He has to feed his fandom.
Do you think any Cowboy fan would be like, oh, Brian Schottenheimer's our head coach?
Not one. And, the seats will be filled at Jerry World, but they won't be wearing silver and blue.
Do you think people want Kellen Moore?
I think he is far more acceptable than Brian Schottenheimer.
I agree with that.
At least we've seen a little bit of success, at least sustained success.
But would Cowboy fan be like, all right, that's who I wanted? Like,
no, I don't know who that is, but so far there hasn't been a candidate that moved the needle other than Deion. I mean, literally. So that would be the primary reason other than, X's and O's and recruiting to go get a guy like Deion. But Schottenheimer being interviewed for 2 jobs. Kellen Moore did a video interview. Leslie Frazier did an interview, right? Did I hear
so,
Frazier did? Which might be another one of those dark horse bridge guys.
Well, they also might be they may have been interviewing Leslie Frazier to be a DC.
Well, DC? That would make far more sense. Because I can see a head coach coming in and going, Leslie Frazier's my DC, I'm down with that. That guy's a vet, been around the league.
Like what Aaron Glenn's talking about, yeah, he'd be a good fit for that.
So, and actually, Aaron Glenn might be looking at Frazier as well. So that I could get. But the offensive coordinator, that's kind of the coach's bread and butter. You know what I mean? That's the decision I want to leave to me because he fails, I'm out.
Well, also consider this. Like, if you're a guy like McCarthy, an offensive-minded guy, and they stick you with an OC, you can just say, this is the way we run offense. If you're a defensive-minded guy, you have to know that the guy that's running you have to have so much trust and faith in him.
Because you see him on Friday. Are you ready?
And it can't be a guy you're just thrown in the mix with. Like, that's tough.
Yeah, and to go find a guy like Fossil, who, he and McCarthy appeared to work quite well together because, quite frankly, McCarthy didn't have to sit in on the meetings. He was doing other things. You had to just trust that his DC had everything ready to go and had his players motivated and up to task. And for the first month, I don't think he did, to be quite frank.
Yeah.
But as the year went on, it did.
Claymore says, Rob, Deion's out of consideration. Decision would have been made by now.
I disagree. I think that there is something about letting those embers kind of die down a little bit and spring it on the world when nobody's expecting it. The Jerry signing, I will maintain that it is not what it was. But until I get a definite, he has put his name on paper, he's staying in Colorado, got more of this, more of that, I still think he's lingering. I think he's still kind of hanging out there.
And I think Jerry's glad that you think that.
Absolutely. I think that's part of the plan.
That you want it or think it, like he loves that you're thinking.
Well, and, the sad thing is that's all he's got left because I can't think about success.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the reason why you can't think about that's the catch-22. The reason you can't think about success is because he makes
these kind of
horrific decisions.
Right. So I have to that's what keeps me intrigued, and that's wearing on his fans.
So now Claymore says player commitments and recruits. Listen, I've seen plenty of head coaches walk away from I've seen him get a whole recruiting cycle in and then walk away and take another job. So I'm not going to buy that, but I will say at this point it would be hard for Deion to prepare himself for an NFL season right now when he hasn't even been.
Oh, there's so many things. It'd be the same thing like Aaron Glenn. If Deion is coming in, I would like a guy like Zimmer, a former head coach, sitting in, taking care of some of the things that, quite frankly, Deion might not have the time or wherewithal to even deal with. So that would be one of the reasons you'd want to hang on to a Zimmer, because you're bringing in a brand new rank head coach that has not done this. But those OCs are drying up, The Ben Johnson would have been the OC to get, you'd have thought. But that guy's gone. It appears to be. Kellen Moore will probably end up being the head coach of the Cowboys if it's not Schottenheimer, or Deion, and it would fit the script. That's what they've done before, and he's just going to do it again. And we'll be sitting here this time next year trying to figure out what the next step will be.
How long do you think we wait to hear the announcement for who it's going to be?
If it's true to form, the Friday before Super Bowl.
Okay.
When the whole world is gathered in New Orleans.
All right, we'll be back. We're the halfway point on Hump Day, one of my favorite times of the week.
Wow.
The downhill slide begins. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Guys, if you're not feeling like yourself, testosterone therapy may be the answer. Look for the VIP treatment you'll get with the experts at Synergenics Testosterone Weight Loss. Synergenics has over a decade of TRT experience. Book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
To...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance. But Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way, and that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions, and that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom.
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
To...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are noticing some slowdown. 1604 southbound Calabria on down to Houseman. About a 10-12 minute ride. Sluggish on 35 southbound Schertz Parkway on down to Weidner. And we're still working that stall at 281 northbound at Josephine Grayson Street. On Highway 90 eastbound Montgomery on over to 410. That's also rolling slowly. Looks like we do have a stall at 35 northbound at Thousand Oaks, now off to the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
Well, it finally happened on his 10th and final opportunity to get into the Hall of Fame. Former Houston Astro closer Billy Wagner has finally gotten the votes. He'll go in to the Hall of Fame. He'll be joining Ichiro Suzuki and starting pitcher CC Sabathia in Cooperstown. Cowboys continue their coaching search. They interviewed OC Brian Schottenheimer for that job and the head coaching job. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, we made it. We've peaked. We hit the top of the mountain, Rob.
Man, I peaked a long time ago.
We looked around like this. We saw what there was to see. Now we're headed into the weekend.
Sliding down.
Yep.
The downhill slalom of life.
That's right, Bubba. That's right. And headed towards a championship weekend, conference championship weekend. Oh.
Yeah. Finally.
Oh. That might be one of the worst sounds on earth.
Like moist.
Moist.
That's exactly where I'm at with this weekend's
right
games.
there.
I'm so moist over these games.
Soft, wet, and moist.
What was Shannon's girl's name? Shannon Sharp's girl. Michelle,
Michelle, yeah.
Oh, Bills Chiefs. Oh, stick out that toe. Stick out that toe, Bills Chiefs. Yeah.
That's all I need.
I'm looking at your tab. What's the 55 for?
The Loteria deck goes to 54.
Oh.
And since that's a made-up card, I said I'll just make that the 55th card.
It just popped up on my socials. It's a little bit different than your phone.
Yeah. My phone is like a cartoon. That's why I wanted this one to look kind of real.
Pretty horrifying cat we got going on here.
A pretty horrifying what?
The dude.
Oh well, he just got beat up. He's been disgraced.
Yeah.
Got a spookity eye.
He's been disgraced. He's now a loser. His mask was torn, which is every luchador's worst nightmare.
Yeah. You don't want to be exposed.
That's right. So it's just like me, exposed for a fraud. Me who gets paid to talk about sports, losing to a bunch of my beer buddies who, half of them don't even care about football.
And they long
Ugh. Ugh. Stupid. That's what I get. You trust in the wrong people, and that's what you get. Let's talk briefly about the Hall of Fame. I saw that Ichiro got in on his first ballot, which is the right thing. I saw that he was one vote short. 393 of 394 people said, you know what? I think Ichiro should be in the Hall of Fame. And it got me thinking, who was the guy? Who's the one guy who's like,
who held out?
I don't know if Ichiro's good enough. Like, I hate that power is in the hands of sports writers
who
are like
public.
who hold agendas and like are just.
I get the need for when you're voting like this, you have to make some tough decisions. I get that. And sometimes not everybody can get in, and maybe you don't need it to be so public. But when it's like this, I think there should be, if you're the lone dissent, if you are so out of the norm, we need to know who the hell you are and why you did that, because maybe you shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah. Like, Billy Wagner.
I'm not mad that he's in. But it's about right. The 10th vote was about right. I think he belongs there because for a brief shining moment, smoke from Billy Wagner. But it was only about 3.5, 4 years worth of absolute closing greatness.
Well, then here's my question, and this is what I don't understand about the voting process. Why is it now? This was his last year on the. Last year on the docket, last chance, right?
I think there's probably might have been one more avenue somewhere down the line, but
like Dave Parker got it. Like eventually he got in as like on the Veterans Committee,
right.
But this was his last year of regular eligibility. In his first year, I think he got 2%, and then somehow 10 years later, when his stats are entirely the same, we're like, you know what? Yeah. Now that I really think about it, that Billy Wagner, now it's 82%, 82.5%. So 80% more than he did 10 years ago. Now we made you wait till again. That's why I say these sports writers have agendas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who was trying to make Ichiro wait around to get in the Hall of Fame? If you didn't think Ichiro was a Hall of Famer, like why do you even have a vote?
Yeah, you don't. That's what I'm saying. I think. If you have an axe to grind, that's one thing, and you might even have a valid point. I can't imagine what it is, but I would like to hear it. I'd like for you to justify your vote in situations like that. Now, if it's a 51-49%, there's logical, debate on both sides, reasons for and against that you can kind of get. I don't need to know. You need to tell me that.
Yeah.
But when it is 1%, and everybody else was on the other side, I kind of need to hear from you, brother. I kind of need to know why exactly this happened, and will this happen again?
And I have long been a bitcher and complainer about the fact that the best players that I've ever seen play are not allowed in the Hall of Fame, Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. It defies logic that in an era where we now know that essentially everybody was juicing, that the guys who, admittedly probably were, although Barry Bonds never failed a test. Guys like A-Rod, okay, he failed a test. He got suspended. Manny Ramirez, these two, which, by the way, I would put Alex Rodriguez and Manny Ramirez in. I think they're both Hall of Fame worthy. But Barry Bonds never failed a drug test, and he's still not in. The idea that now the Hall of Fame, which is supposed to be like the highest honor, Billy Wagner is in the baseball. Like, You can write the history of baseball without using Billy Wagner's name.
For a couple years, no. Seriously, I mean, it's been a minute, but there was a time, brief though it was, that Billy Wagner was the hottest closer in baseball. So, no, but your point is absolutely correct. How can we call this when we have guys that were so obviously worthy that aren't there? So, no, you're right, but we can't fix this until all these people are dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do think that this will never happen again. I don't think that any Hall of Fame is ever going to put themselves into a situation short of murder. You know what I mean?
Like
short of
O.J. Simpson.
Sort of that.
Maybe not put him in.
Where
but
those guys never get in for whatever reason, or actually even taken out if they do something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're ever going to put ourselves in the juicing, era again. We'll let guys in the first time. But right now, the bet is made. The die is cast. It is over. Those guys aren't getting in. They might get in when they're dead, but they ain't getting in anytime soon.
And then there's, again, Billy Wagner gets in year 10. Francisco Rodriguez was on the ballot for the third time. He's got more saves career than Billy Wagner.
Yeah.
Yet
he's only on year 2, though. Wait till year 10.
That's what I'm
Everybody's
saying.
gonna love him.
Dude, if you're a Hall of Famer, why aren't you a Hall of Famer the day you show up?
Depends on who you're standing
and
with.
Why is CC Sabathia slam dunk? I like CC Sabathia. I don't have a problem with him being in the Hall of Fame, but I never thought of CC the way it seems very difficult to get into the Hall of Fame. CC Sabathia is not a name that I said, oh, that guy, the day he shows up, is a Hall of Famer.
Oh, you're right. But, it does matter the crowd you're standing with. I mean, everything's kind of relative. And, there are years when that nobody goes in because
I don't think there's that.
Or one or two.
Yeah, I think when Jeter went, I think he was the only one.
Yeah, so, I mean, it does matter when you retire, unfortunately, because you are going to be judged against those that came out with you that 5 and then that 10-year window of everybody that's in the middle of that 5-year window. So it does help to retire at the right time amongst those that might not stack up in history. But I'm more about inclusion than anything else. I think that the Hall of Fames have realized that, better have somebody in that might not in the long run deserve it than people that belong in that didn't. And
there's plenty of people that get in the Hall of Fame now that, when we look back, we're going to go, what?
Yeah, and I get the politics of it.
They're going to go, wait. So you're telling me Craig Biggio is a Hall of Famer and Barry Bonds is not? And you go, Harold Baines is in the Hall of Fame. Tim Raines is in the Hall of Fame. But Roger Clemens isn't?
Well, that is a mutually kind of exclusive term because you can't be the Hall of Fame without those
you
people in
can't.
there. But again, we can't fix this.
And to me, that's what the Hall of Fame should be. These are the guys that are the history of baseball. You cannot, there's more, you're going to end up putting in more than the guys who you can't write the history of baseball without discussing them. Otherwise it wouldn't be much of Hall of Fame.
But you tell the story. You say why, and there were years that by evidence and by admission, they were taking illicit substances.
But these self-righteous dudes who are who all saw Barry Bonds, and because Barry Bonds wasn't friendly to them and didn't give them the sound bites they wanted, he's not good enough. It's I can't think of another word for chicken bleep, but it is. It's and they're hiding behind this. I don't know.
Well, so many of us were fighting to protect those that didn't juice, that we believe were doing it the honest way, when in fact,
who?
Well, that's just it. And how do you define what the non-honest way was when they were doing things that athletes even 10 years prior didn't even have the access to?
Well, and guys in the 70s were basically doing crystal meth.
Yeah, and I do firmly believe there's going to come a time where HGH and all the peripherals from that are going to be a commonplace, and stem cells are going to be commonplace, where there were years where these, the medical side of things, these players never had access to things that are going to keep newer athletes available and better for longer. So it's never going to be fair. It's never going to be they got in on their own merits because nobody did. They're all products of their era. And The further we get away from the juiced era, the further we're going to realize those guys need to be in because we have to be able to tell the story of baseball, and they have to be included. But they're going to get in posthumously. They're going to all go in at once, and we're going to celebrate what was, and maybe one dude will be there in a wheelchair in 2040 when it happens.
With his big bulbous head.
Something long, and telling the stories of what
Balls
was.
all shriveled to nothing.
Well, they're going to, they'll have Manny Ramirez.
Yeah.
And him? What happened? I thought he was black.
But I think I'll say this: the idea, what you're talking about, like who we deemed to be clean, is such garbage because, quite frankly, Ichiro Suzuki might be the only guy that I would bet my life on during that era didn't do PEDs.
Well, is creatine a PED?
I don't know if it was on the banned list at the time. I know there was a time where it was, like when McGuire was using it.
I mean, there are things that are available to athletes now that weren't even invented back then. I mean, and they're legal.
Like,
but
remember when it was in Mark McGuire's locker, they were like, oh, my God, he's got creatine. And like, now
you got high school kids buying it in bulk. And, I mean, it's so
normal.
That's the reason those guys will eventually get in, but it's going to take those that have a say, that are the puritanical view, they're going to have to be long gone.
But I've always said, like, are you willing to bet your kid's life that Derek Jeter never took steroids? Not once. I'm not. Are you willing to bet your kid's life that Craig Biggio never took steroids? I want you to really, and this is my least popular take when I was in Houston, Craig Biggio doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. Craig Biggio he was a good player for a long time. He's not a Hall of Famer.
It's the politics of some teams just got to have some guys in.
I agree with that. But, like, the idea that we all generally believe and kind of know that Jeff Bagwell probably took some steroids. We all know.
Bite your tongue, sir.
We all know certainly that Ken Caminiti was roiding.
Well, amongst other things.
So, yeah. So we think when those three guys were coming up together in the organization, you got Baggy and Cammy over in the corner shooting each other up, and Craig Biggio's like,
goody two-shoes.
Not me, guys. I like to play clean. I don't use batting gloves. I'm a goody guy. I don't do that stuff. Come on. And we're going to leave A-Rod out? We're going to leave Barry Bonds out? Y'all stop it with this self-righteous. There's no way my favorite player did steroids. He did. At least he dabbled. I'm not saying, like, some of them probably tried it and were like, that's not for me.
Well, I talked to a player, it's been 20 years ago, who played a role in that time and didn't admit to doing anything, but did ask the question, if somebody came to you and said, if you'll take this shot every other week for the next 3 weeks, at the end of your contract year, you'll make $25 million.
Right.
And if you don't, you'll hang on and you might make $3 million.
Yeah.
But the difference between a $3 million player and a $25 million hitter is an extra hit a week,
right.
That kind of thing. And if you'll take this shot and get better faster, not maybe make yourself better, just get well and back to where you were, you'll make $25 million next year. No one says no.
And
no one says no.
There's two things that really prove why we don't know who was doing steroids and don't. There's two moments that I remember vividly. One was when McGuire and Sosa and Bonds were all going down. The fact that everybody was like, we've got one clean hope left. His name is Alex Rodriguez. He's the one guy who can break the home run record clean. And then it turns out, not really.
Not so clean and not so good a guy.
And then the other time was, when before Andy Pettitte got basically busted, did anybody look at Andy Pettitte and go, oh, yeah, that's a juicer?
Well, therein lies
no one did.
Well, because I think guys like Pettitte and a lot of the players that did use the PEDs, it wasn't so much about improvement. It was about getting back to normal. It was about
getting healthy.
Getting healthy. They weren't trying to add 25 pounds and 30 feet a home run. Now, that was a byproduct, and they were certainly happy to have it. But I do think when we saw McGuire and Sosa and there are 3 or 4 other dudes, it had gotten to the point where the roids were for that. It was for the extra 30 feet. It was for the home run derby before the game. It was for the selling of tickets. And I think at that point we all went, well, we've gone too far. I think a lot of dudes that did juice, if they came out and said, I took it to get well. I didn't add any speed to my pitch. I didn't add any to my 40. My ball wasn't flying any further. I just got back in the game 3 weeks earlier.
Yeah. Like, Mark McGuire was a good baseball player. He wasn't a great baseball. Like he was a slugger.
It was a one-trick pony.
Yeah, but he was not like I really don't know if Mark McGwire were clean. Like if the PED bust had never happened, I don't know if Mark McGwire's like a lock Hall of Famer.
Oh, that
one
3
season.
years,
But Roger Maris isn't a Hall of Famer.
Well, that's true.
I mean, so just one big blip on the radar gets you in? I don't know. But the idea that when McGwire and Sosa, who remember what Sammy Sosa was, like he was like a passed around like middling player who suddenly turned into Superman, and Mark McGwire, who was a guy who really just did one thing well, and these guys were suddenly the biggest stars in baseball, and meanwhile, guys like Barry Bonds, who Barry Bonds was the best player in the world before he took a steroid, and he's got to look at this and go, these guys are getting all the press. These guys are making all the money. What this you want to see something? Watch what happens when I get to when I put on my Superman suit. Watch what happens.
Well, and the other part of this that people don't understand, unless you lived through it, was we practically injected them for them. You know, we wanted it.
Of course we did.
Wanted it, man. The games didn't matter. It was BP beforehand. You had to go if you were going to go see a Cubs game with Sosa. You got there 3 hours early, and you didn't even see the ninth inning. You were gone because you saw BP and you watched the balls launch onto Lakeshore. And you went to Oakland to watch McGwire just send it, baby. Now winning and losing, yeah, that kind of mattered, but it saved baseball for 3 years. We were shooting them up ourselves. We wanted that. We begged them to go do it.
It's the most popular baseball had been.
And then we get this false sense of how dare you do that kind of stuff 3 years later when that fire they lit actually took hold and we really got back into baseball.
And we're all clutching our pearls.
Oh
my.
It turned Sammy Sosa white.
Not my game. Not the greatest game.
So
stop it.
And I played a role in that. I was doing radio. It was a daily thing. The Dingers, we were following day by day. What McGwire, Sosa, the home run chase. What was the lead story every day? I would have gladly injected him for him. I need to. You got to feed me the headlines.
Oh, by the way, was Carlos Beltran never accused of steroids?
Well, remember, isn't there a sealed letter someplace that has to do with Beltran?
Because guess who is the highest percentage of votes that didn't make the Hall of Fame is Carlos Beltran, 70%. He's like Carlos Beltran's probably going to get in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he will.
How is he above the fray?
Convicted?
Give me well, Barry Bonds was never convicted. And
not a big enough star.
Well, yeah, let's put the lesser stars in the Hall of Fame. That's the
problem.
move.
And we also have to look back on who Barry Bonds was, who was a renowned a-hole. I mean, even clean and a young kid was just renowned for it. So he paid the karma price. He was never going to get the benefit of the doubt.
All right, I got to tell you guys about Carbach. If you're doing dry January and you're saying, I'm just not drinking this weekend, but you still like to drink beer, Free and Easy from Carbach is a great choice. Tastes just like beer, except it doesn't get you wasted, and you don't have to break your dry January. And if you want regular beer, they've got the new Ziegenbach 12 packs in their new cans, as Rob pointed out the other day. And they also have a new seasonal IPA out called Hoplectic, which I haven't tasted yet, but the recipe for it I'm aware of. And the last time they brewed this particular beer, I was a big fan. So I think this is going to be a great treat. You're going to be able to find that at H-E-B. You're going to be able to find that at all your liquor stores. And he said there's going to be some accounts with some on draft as well. And, of course, you're always going to find the Crawford Bock, the Hopadillo, and the Love Street. Those are on tap all over our city here in San Antonio. So when you're out and about this weekend watching the playoff games, go ahead and ask your bartender to please make it a Carbach.
South Texas, get ready for the ultimate sports talk experience. The one and only Rich Eisen is on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. With over 20 years of NFL experience, Rich Eisen brings breaking stories, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews with sports legends to your airwaves with unmatched wit, insight, and passion. Catch all the action every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show, only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Well, family, this new year is off to a great start. Everybody, How are those New Year's resolutions?
Dear, my resolution is to cut my damaged hair and just start over.
Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water.
Sounds like your family needs to start the new year off with installing a Connecticut water system and get a head start on all those resolutions.
This guy's making sense.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Connecticut. SA.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way, and that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions, and that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. How can I help you?
My schedule is crazy. I just want some me time.
We could all use a sanctuary from stress. Why not turn your bedroom into the place to decompress with our selection of comfortable beds, pillows, decor, mood lighting, and so much more? Every time you step in there, it's nothing but me time. I mean, you time.
Sounds like a dream.
Here to make your me time dreams come true. Visit us in-store or at ikea-usa.com/sleep to create a comfy, blissful bedroom today.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, more reaction to the Dallas Cowboys head coaching search.
RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com. He will join us at 4:35.
He'll always have something interesting to say about the Dallas Cowboys.
He does. He won't be happy. We'll talk about it. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime.
Freedom Ride says, dry January. Unfortunately, that boat has already left the dock. Well, you made it 3 weeks.
Yeah. Is that really a thing?
Oh, yeah. A lot of people that's their New Year's resolution. I'm going to go. It's good to get a little reset.
Yeah.
I should probably take a 30-day break.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe I'll do that when my wife gets here.
Yeah, when she first gets here, yeah. Be like,
You feel the need to. I mean, I don't know. Isn't there something that goes on in November, too?
Yes. But
there's nothing going on in November.
I don't partake in that.
No.
No shave
Sometimes
November?
you have to.
No, it's a different one.
Well, there's that, too.
Yeah.
It kind of goes together.
They do tend to go together. When I've got a standalone mustache, the other thing just tends to happen.
You just don't shave anything. Just everything just grows out all November. And then you celebrate in December, and then you pay the penance in January.
All right.
Dry out and consider your sins for the first month.
And Matthew says, forget Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. Unequivocally, the worst ongoing Hall of Fame snub ever is A.J. Hoffman being kept out of the Texas Sports Radio Hall of Fame. An absolute disgrace. I agree, but
you have
voters,
to have done it for 25 years, though. There's some things you have to live up to.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Well, still a disgrace. I should be bumped ahead of the line.
You have to serve your time before you get to.
Please. It's absurd. Absurd. Again, people are tweeting me about Craig Biggio.
See, whenever you start going in that era of Astros, when we start talking bigs, and
everybody's so protective.
It is such.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about my family.
I know.
They were the lovable almosts. Man, we tried so hard. They were such good boys.
Yeah.
And that's the memory of these guys when they were humans, man.
We're such suckers.
So, yeah. And Wagner was a wild child. I mean, he was part of that era. Well, we don't talk about those boys. Those are good boys.
Yeah. Why would we?
But there's no success. There ain't no.
Even though one of them literally died from a heart attack brought on by
a little bit of crank, a little bit of coke, but other than that, they were good boys.
Yeah.
They just needed a little guidance.
Just a tad.
It's a very Texas thing. That's a very unique kind of attitude about those guys. That era.
It's people are the same way about the Oilers and they're like, oh, that team, and it's like, dude, that team never made it to a Super Bowl. They weren't that good.
I don't look at the team as fondly as the legend of the Oilers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't remember them ever being great. I remember the humiliation.
They didn't even make it to a Super Bowl. Let's stop holding them up on this pedestal like they were, the best team that never won. No, not really.
It was a good cast of characters, though.
It was a good story for sure. But that's I don't know. We do tend to do that,
and
though.
I never could quite figure out why that particular era of Astros, which was moderately successful, but not overly so, why that particular era is looked on with such great fondness. I mean, it feels like the salad days, like they were winning titles. Like we just loved the Stros back then.
And the most frustrating part of it is that they were so like the two best players, the two guys that you counted on, were so horrific in playoff moments, and we just try to pretend like, oh no,
Mets, man.
And that's the other thing. Speaking of Astros, like Lance Berkman got on the ballot and fell off the ballot, and when you're talking about the Astros who kind of like deserved consideration, underrated
by far, but he was too late.
I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
If we only want the clean players,
well, that's the ones we put up front. Those are the show beats. We invite people in with the good folks, Roger Staubach and those guys. Then you go back to the back room and really get into the nitty gritty stuff.
I do want to know. I want to find out who the guy is who said Ichiro. Nah, I think he's racist. That's the only explanation. It's the only explanation.
It
I don't
literally
want any
is.
Japanese in my Hall of Fame. That's the only possible reason why you would say no to Ichiro.
Was there a town? Was there at some point where Ichiro was a free agent and used another team as leverage?
I don't think so.
Is there a writer out there that lost a couple of years of good meat and coverage because he didn't show up that decided no?
I don't know. I mean,
personal.
Ichiro played for 3 teams. He played for the Mariners for a long time, and then the Marlins for a minute, and then the Yankees in a very forgettable stint. But maybe the guy's a Yankee hater, which is, okay. But if Mariano Rivera got in on a unanimous vote, like, why not Ichiro? Japanese is the only explanation, Rob. It's the only explanation.
I always fall on the racist card.
That's what it's got to be.
It probably is.
It's got to be. So I want that guy publicly flogged and shamed.
I think he should have to go handle the gambling side of all the other Asian players that are coming over.
I think
they
so.
all gamble, every one of them.
Well, you're not supposed to say that.
That's what I've been told. They're not sending their best gamblers.
They're not sending their best. They send their worst. All right. When we come back, we'll talk to Dr. Jason Garrett. I forgot. Hey, Dr. Garrett hadn't been around in a while. We'll see what's going on in the world of injuries, and we'll keep talking these sports match games. It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your commute, we are slowing down on 1604 southbound Calabria down to Hausman. On 35 southbound Schertz Parkway to Weidner, that's rolling slowly. We do have a stall 35 northbound at Thousand Oaks. Looks like they quickly moved it off a main lane, off to the shoulder. And another stall at 35 northbound New Braunfels, right shoulder blocked. You guys see something we're not talking about? Call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out. 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
On Super Sunday, you could be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite, now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 1/13 through 1/24. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. While supplies last. See store or Lowes.com for more details and qualifying items.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hey guys, AJ from the Morning Huddle for SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house located at 281 in Bitters. They have tournaments going every day. I'm playing in a lot of those tournaments, and I'll make you a deal. You meet me on the tables, you knock me out of that tournament, we'll refund your entry for that day. All you got to do is take me out of the tournament, and you're going to get your money back. 281 in Bitters, great atmosphere, great dealers, great vibes at SA Card House, great food at Foster's Bar and Grill. Don't miss it. I will see you on the tables.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
To...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I'm not a perfect person. But, you know, I do my best. I'm getting by, Rob.
I don't know why I can't remember who this is.
Hoobastank.
Hoobastank.
Yeah.
The stank.
They're one-hit wonder. They didn't have anything else.
No, they did.
Oh.
Yeah, they had a few. But
They had one that was
it.
a little more upbeat than this.
Yeah.
But
this one was ready right now, though.
All right. Now, I forget what happened last time. We gave Dr. Garrett a bad intro. That was really.
It?
I don't remember what you did.
Yeah, we need to. We kind of.
Oh no, I called him late. Remember?
Yeah.
We never had him on.
Yeah, that's right.
And the one time before that, I don't remember.
I think that's the time when we gave him a bad intro. He was really pissed. He texted me and he was like, "Dude,
better walk up.
It's got to be better than that going forward." But you know, we'll see how he feels today. Joining us now on the Buyers Barricade guest line from Airrosti, Dr. Jason Garrett. Good morning, Dr. Garrett.
Good morning. Yeah, Hoobastank is a big upgrade from 2 weeks ago, whatever terrible thing that you had me walking up on.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't remember what it was, but
I forgot.
It's probably something that I liked and everybody else was mad about. So that's usually the way we go, Dr. Garrett.
Was that planned for the Hoobastank there, Vic, or was that just
no?
Was
It's just random.
Okay, wanted to make sure.
All the music I choose is random.
We need to find. You need to have a specialty song for Dr. Garrett, maybe.
I'll find one.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. And Vic apologizes for last week, Doctor. He was supposed to call you, and then he tried to call you late, and he's like, "Oh, I can't get a hold of him."
Fault.
Vic smokes a lot of marijuana, and he's not always at his sharpest. I'll just say that. All right, let's take a look at what's going on, and I think the top of everyone's list seems to be Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts' knee. It's clear that it's affecting the idea of them doing tush pushes. They didn't want to attempt a couple of them. With what you've heard about Jalen's knee, is this something that is going to linger into this week and maybe beyond, or was that just the fact that he stayed in the game, is it less concerning?
It's not really concerning, but it's probably not going to get much better. If they get through this next week, then he'll have enough time to recuperate for the Super Bowl, but I wouldn't expect him to be much more productive. You know, knee injuries can be pretty tricky. You can play through a lot of knee pain, a lot of knee swelling, but they tend to not respond really quickly as far as getting better, and they don't get a lot worse. Now, if he was to plant wrong and do something, he could have a much more serious knee injury. So I think that's why they want to be a little more cautious and keep on running the ball.
Looking at the Chiefs-Bills game coming up, Taylor Rapp, the safety for the Bills, dealing with a hip injury. They saw him carried off. He's going to be day-to-day. I don't know a lot about hip injuries, but it seems to me that whenever I hear about a hip, it's a lingering thing. What are the primary issues when you deal with hip injuries that come from this wasn't one of those drop tackles, but it does appear to be a kind of a torsion thing. How do you fix that?
Yeah, so the hip joint itself is where your femoral head, the head of your femur, inserts into your pelvis, and it's a pretty tight joint. It's not like your shoulder. It's nowhere near as mobile, and if you separate that a little bit or sprain it, a lot of times the capsule gets damaged. The capsule doesn't heal very well, and so it creates a lot of inflammation. And usually if you're running in a straight line, it's not a big deal. But when you go to cut and turn left and right, it's like it just doesn't respond like you want it to. And so you can't cut as hard, which means you're probably going to strain it a little more and just be less productive.
It's Dr. Jason Garrett from Airrosti joining us here on the program. Remember when Chet Holmgren broke his hip, they're saying that they expect him back in the next month. Does that seem like the right timeline for someone like that to be back from that broken hip? I know you said it's not as bad as it sounds, but it's going to be about a 2.5 months, so about 10 weeks. Is that pretty standard?
Yeah, and again, when they say hip, it's not his femur that was broken. It was more his pelvis, which like they chipped a bone off the pelvis. And so usually that's 6 to 8 weeks for the bone to fully heal. And luckily he doesn't have a lot of muscle to put back on, so he doesn't have to regain his size. He's not a very heavy guy, so it does seem like a pretty reasonable timeline for that injury.
One more basketball. This is Jeremy Sohan, who continues to like randomly miss games with a back injury. Do you think that like just sitting him out for 4 or 5 games is the answer to fixing that back, or where are we at with that? And what's when it's a back injury is playing a game here and then taking a game off, does it ever get better?
Well, let's talk about what the injury is. A bilateral lumbar spine bone bruise.
What is that exactly?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Usually it's when you land an extension to land kind of leaning backwards, the facet joints, or the joints in the spine, not the big ones, but the smaller ones in the back, right, that hold the intervertebral nerves that come out, gets bruised and irritated, and then it becomes a bone bruise, which causes spasming because your body then tries to create a muscular splint around it. And so the muscles around it tighten up, which actually makes you less stable and more likely to be hurting more and less mobile. So what that does is it puts you in kind of a constant state of, okay, the pain's gone, I can move pretty well. I moved just the wrong way, and I bump those bones together again, and the cascade starts all over again. So this is one of the rare back injuries where really resting it until that bone bruise is gone. Once it's gone, it's pretty good to go. As long as you keep them stretched out and mobile and strong in the meantime, just avoid those motions that jam those bones together.
That is Dr. Jason Garrett from Airrosti. We don't have a long list, which I guess is good news for athletes, or also just sports are kind of football's getting over, so less people are getting hurt every week. But we appreciate the time, Dr. Garrett, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
Take care, Doc.
That is Dr. Jason Garrett. And, of course, all our guests appear via the Buyers Barricade guest line.
You know, one of the things about where the Spurs are right now, and especially when I see an injury with Sohan, and we've seen how vital he is to Wemby's production, quite frankly. An 8-hour flight with a lower back issue, to and from. You wonder what you do. You have him running up and down the aisle. And do you do anything different in Paris when you're 8 hours off? Are you doing something to get your body on track? It's kind of a I would like to think the Spurs are able to kind of take a breath here. I mean, you only got a couple of games, a couple of flights.
I know you did some travel, but I'm guessing you're getting some good downtime, too.
I would like to think that this is would be a benefit instead of a negative. I know they didn't want to go into this on a losing streak, but it does give a chance to kind of shock the system, take a little bit of a break, and maybe take a day to get well. It might be on a plane. But it could be the opposite of this. I mean, the last thing I'd think if I had a bad back injury is, I got 16 hours on a plane facing me in the next week.
Mike says, shame on the Eagles for not letting Saquon break Eric Dickerson's rushing record.
Mike,
I disagree.
I'm with you. When they decided not to, and it'll feel fine today and tomorrow, and it'll feel good if they do, in fact, win a championship and he can hold up a ring. But there's going to be a day in Saquon Barkley's life where he wakes up in the morning and goes, damn. I had a chance. No, he saw the top of Mount Everest and went, close enough. It's for the rest of my team's got other things to do. I'm gonna go on down. It's one of those things that's easy to do, but I think in the long term he's gonna regret it.
I mean, first of all, we don't know with certainty that.
Oh, you're right. There's variables. He might have been unhealthy. There might have been an injury on the offensive line. There might have been something they're trying to protect for playoffs. I get all of that. But I always refer back to the year the Spurs, as a team, could have gone undefeated at home. And they already had a bunch of rings. They'd done that. They had a good long run. And this would have just been one more thing to add to the long list of other things that they had achieved. And they chose not to. They benched their dudes on the last home game, and they lost. And they ended up not even winning a title that year. They didn't even get anything. So the one thing that they could have done to kind of put something a place marker in the history of the Spurs. They chose not to. And while individually, I don't think anybody regrets it, as a whole, the Spurs organization should look back and go, that would have been pretty cool to say at one point we didn't lose a home game all year.
The other thing is, of all the guys who have run for over 2,000 yards, which how many are in the club?
8 or 9
1, 2, 3,
now,
4,
I think.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Saquon had the lowest yards per game average of those guys.
Well, more games. You know.
He played 16 like most of the other guys.
But the number that I was most impressive with Saquon wasn't that. It was the lowest yards per game, but he had the most yards in the second half.
Yeah. I still contest that the greatest rushing season, and I didn't see it, but just statistically is OJ. 14 games.
We're running out of
over
people
2,000 yards.
I remember watching it. I remember the stuff going on around me. I don't remember.
So Eric Dickerson he had 131.6 yards per game over those 16 games.
What was that, 83?
That was 1984.
84? It was ridiculous.
O.J. Simpson ran for 11 and a half more yards per game than Eric Dickerson did. So think about that. What we consider the greatest rushing season ever, O.J. was like, big deal.
Hold my beer. And he was doing that in what was a barely improved backyard lot. I mean, you look at the field that he was playing on late in the season in Buffalo. It was a mud puddle, and he's still grabbing 250 yards a game.
Incredible. And the other thing about that Dickerson season, like when you look at all these guys who had these huge years, Eric Dickerson had 14 fumbles that season.
Well, he
which is
carried
probably
the ball
why he
500 times.
Probably why he didn't win the MVP.
He carried literally. I remember that year. John Robinson. He carried the ball 40 times a game. I mean, that was all the Rams had. It was a ridiculously fun year, but it didn't really make a difference in the league. You know what I mean? The Rams weren't great. They weren't contending.
And of the 8 guys who did it before this year, 4 of them were the MVP that year. So everyone's saying Saquon, it'd be automatic, or Saquon should be the MVP. It's been about 50-50. And I think if you look at most of those years, you look at who the top quarterbacks were, and depending on if there was a big-time quarterback that year, that's when they got it.
Mm-hmm.
OJ, Adrian Peterson, remember when he was the MVP, Barry Sanders, and Terrell Davis are the only guys who were the MVPs.
Sanders was the most entertaining of all of the 2,000 yards.
I don't think there's much doubt to that.
Yeah,
I agree. Although Saquon's close, man. He's been fun to watch.
The one move, the backwards jump, whatever that move that'll live on forever. But the most entertaining, the most devastating of all those was the Derrick Henry year. Just devastating.
The Adrian Peterson year was up there too.
Yeah, he was.
And my dad would tell you that Eric Dickerson's year was like that too.
He was a man. It was like watching that 8th grade year, because it was such a radical difference in the way he ran. He just looked different from running backs at the time. He looked like the best 8th grader. Like he was like,
You talking about Adrian Peterson or
No,
Eric
I'm
Dickerson?
talking about Eric Dickerson. He was just so much bigger and faster than anything we'd ever seen before. The way he ran in '84, it looked like he was like the 8th grader that matured before everybody else. He was just bigger, faster, and stronger than everybody else out there.
Well, Adrian Peterson, when I saw him play college football, I said, that guy could be in the NFL tomorrow. His freshman year, I was like, that guy looks like an NFL player. Like, he doesn't belong on this field with these guys. And you don't say that about college football players.
Too bad he was doing it at Oklahoma.
Yeah, that made it less fun. Mm-hmm. Gary says, hey, AJ, do you have any superstitious rituals for teams you root for? Not really. I'm not a typical fan. Like I'm not overly emotional. Although this year I find myself getting sucked in, so I'm a little nervous about that. I don't have any big plans for the Bills game, but I'm almost certain.
You don't have a shirt?
Oh, I have a T-shirt that I like to wear. It's got Josh Allen riding a buffalo on it, but it's like drawn by a child, so it looks ridiculous.
What if you wear it and they lose? Do you put it back on the next week? See, I rotate through. If you're winning, if I wear a shirt, whether it be Spurs, Aggies, Cowboys, Stros, and they win, next time I see them, I have to wear that shirt. I'll wear it until they lose.
The problem is that shirt is white, And I only wash white laundry like once a month.
Well, you don't want to wash it. That's
because I don't wear white socks, and I don't have very many.
Underwear.
I don't have white underwear. I don't have white
anything.
shirts.
Well, what I'm saying
really.
is you don't wash it. That's what I'm getting to. You wear it, they win. You hang it back up.
Well, usually it
You
has
don't
some
wash
buffalo sauce on it or something.
That's
some
good.
wing
That's
sauce.
a good thing. That's
Maybe
a benefit. I'm not talking about. You're not looking for presentation here. This is for luck. I'm doing this for my team. It matters.
But I think
without me, they lose.
I think what I'm going to do on Sunday, I have to figure out exactly because Saturday's my brother's birthday. Is it no? Yeah, 23. Yeah, Saturday's my brother's birthday. We're going to figure. He's got to tell me what our plans are. But Sunday, ideally, I will be sitting on my couch. I will order some wings from Anchor Bar, which I went to for the first time
Bill's
today.
hotspot.
It is a Bills hotspot. They're all buffaloed out, which I kind of dig. But I also don't want to be there on game day for it. It's just too much for me. So I'll be sitting on my couch eating delivered wings from Anchor Bar, and preparing myself for tears more than likely is what.
Either way, you can catch all the games live right here. We'll go at 1, go all day till 10 o'clock.
Let's go. We'll get NFC games first, right?
I don't know. I was just checking. I believe it is, but I don't have confirmation in front of me. I just know when. NFC is in fact first. AFC will be second. So in our coverage, our NFC Championship coverage will go from 1 to 5:30, and then from 5:30 on till everything's done. AFC.
Well, I know in our market, people love Washington and Philly, so they're excited. They're excited for that game, obviously. And then Bills Chiefs. I think everybody's excited.
I think we're all going to be doing our prep work during the Bills. I mean, during the Commanders game, and we'll watch it in passing because it's going to be fun. But
as a Cowboys fan, do you have a rooting preference? Do you hate one of these teams more than the other?
No, well, I don't like the Eagles, and will never like the Eagles. But no, this isn't like watching Ohio State Notre Dame, where no matter what, I'm going to be happy one of you suckers lost. No, this is more about Jaden Daniels, I think, than anything else.
I want Jaden Daniels to win. I do. The Commanders being so terrible last year, it would be such a good story. And I don't particularly like the Eagles either. I really particularly am not a fan of Jalen Hurts. Like, I don't think he's very good, and everyone tells me he's good, and I don't understand it. But at the same time, I love Saquon Barkley. Love Saquon.
I'm not going to root for either. I will be happy with the outcome because I don't care because I feel like they're playing for second no matter what happens. The Super Bowl will be the next game.
Now that you and I have worked together now for, 7 months or so, 8 months, do you feel a kinsmanship with me that you will be cheering for the Buffalo Bills?
I will be cheering for the Bills, and I'm not going to lie. I really never paid a lot of attention to the Bills until you started sitting next to me. So yeah, I've learned a little bit more about them, and I'm a Josh Allen fan, and I'm tired of the Chiefs.
Thank you.
You know,
do you see the Bills Bills fans donated over $10,000 to Mark Andrews' foundation because he was getting death threats from the Ravens?
They're getting a reputation for swooping in and doing some FOE stuff. Yep. I appreciate it.
All right, last hour of the program coming up. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half. Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals use proprietary AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson for Prize Picks, the best place to get real money on your sports action. Me and 10 million other people are playing every day, and now's the time to do it. Have you ever heard of this? You've got a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your season all game long, and now 1,000 times your cash. Heck, I've been a Prize Picks player for a long time. I've not seen this. 1,000 times your cash. It's playoff time. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the fun in the last few weeks of the football football season, Prize Picks is the best place to play, up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get the action on the sports that you're playing, and now you can get up to 1,000 times your cash. Join over 10 million members. Play today. And if you sign up today, you get up to $50 instantly when you play. Use the code ALAMO. Sign up today for 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 1/13 through 1/24. Cannot be combined with additional discounts while supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
You've decided to divorce. I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Hey you, I knew I'd find you back in the same aisle. What are you looking for today? More fiber, more laxatives, more of the same ways to manage your constipation? Look, if your constipation with belly pain keeps coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Right now at Wendy's, get 2 of these fave items for just $7. The spicier classic chicken sandwich, Dave's single, or 10-piece nugs. It's an incredible deal, but an insanely difficult choice. Do you go double chicky sando, both spicy and classic, 1 beefy and 1 chicky? Or maybe you go all in on one and go Nug Max. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time only. Select a request 2 for $7 deal to redeem. Not valid in a combo or with saucy nugs. Single item at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your commute, we are slowing down on 1604 southbound Calabria down to Hausman. On 35 southbound Schertz Parkway to Weidner, that's rolling slowly. We do have a stall 35 northbound at Thousand Oaks. Looks like they quickly moved it off the main lane, all off to the shoulder. And another stall at 35 northbound New Braunfels, right shoulder blocked. If you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out. 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
Well, it finally happened on his 10th and final opportunity to get into the Hall of Fame. Former Houston Astro closer Billy Wagner has finally gotten the votes. He'll go in to the Hall of Fame. He'll be joining Ichiro Suzuki and starting pitcher CC Sabathia in Cooperstown. Cowboys continue their coaching search. They interviewed OC Brian Schottenheimer for that job and the head coaching job. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
9:01 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1. Greg was coming in here to yell at you about not
Thank
coming into
God
work.
we went live. I don't know what was about to happen.
Oh, he was going to say, Rob, you're soft.
Shelton squared up like he had a statement to make.
I can't believe you weren't here. Taking the easy way out.
I utilized his equipment.
Yes, you did.
Where's my stuff?
Where's my stuff?
That's what you're wondering. Where's my stuff?
I actually had to turn around and go back and get it.
Oh, did you?
Grab it this morning.
Oh, good call. Gary says, I want to know why people are already tired of my Chiefs winning.
You mean
people
already?
People weren't tired of Brady this early.
Yes,
Friend,
we were.
Yes, they were. Yeah, I did not enjoy the Patriots winning all the time. I don't know of really anyone who did other than Patriots fans. It wasn't fun.
It wasn't. And it was a different kind of winning. And I think this year we had the combination of, I'm a little fatigued. The stories get a little old. I'm tired of watching Chiefs games and looking up to the box to see who is smiling with Swifty and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the way that they won this year. You know, if they'd have been dominant and rolling through
it felt phony.
Yeah, it just feels like they're on their way down, and it's just not enough there. If they'd have been rolling through teams, we'd have been talking about them like, this is the greatest, not just football team, but one of the greatest teams of all times. 3 straight championships, and on the third one, they're playing better than they were on the first one. That's not the case. They're just kind of squeaking by as much as a 2 consecutive Super Bowl champion, nearly all-time great quarterback can be is scraping by, but it does feel a little bit of a – and then there's the officiating where you feel like this is being forced on me. So it is fatigue, and it's a weird kind of fatigue because it's not like I don't like them. I like Mahomes. I like Kelsey. I like the coach. I like everything about him. That's not what I'm tired of. It's just – it feels contrived, and it feels like they are supposed to be winning, and the NFL is doing everything they can to make sure that happens.
Yeah, and Freedom Ride says, TV market size, San Antonio's 31, Kansas City's 34, yet Rob doesn't believe the Chiefs are a small market team.
They are. There's no small market teams in the NFL. There's not.
If there is one, it's Buffalo's amongst the smallest for sure.
Yes, but the NFL's a different thing because it's a once-a-week thing. Don't look at the city size. Look at the fan base map.
Yeah.
And the smallest market team by fan base map is Houston. Houston's the small market team.
They are amongst it for sure.
And it's not because of their city and the number of rooftops. It's the number of fans in Houston that give a crap. And there's too many Cowboy fans that still live in Houston. So if you want to talk small market, Houston's the one that's – and New Orleans.
And Carolina.
Well, but the Carolina – fan base map is pretty big. They go up to D.C., they go south almost to Atlanta. They got enough of a group of fans.
But I think the Atlanta map, the Tennessee map, and the D.C. Baltimore map probably take up a lot more of that Panthers land than you're expecting.
But on the other side of that, look at the Denver Bronco fan map. It's like 12 states.
Now, like the Electoral College, those states can't win you an election. But there is a large chunk of the earth.
And they have to carve out that TV market to fit. It's fewer TVs, but we're talking about massive states. So the definition of a small market applies far more to baseball and basketball than it does to the NFL.
Yeah. Buffalo and Green Bay are the only true small markets in the NFL.
By size and fan map. But you look at Green Bay, you don't think small market. You think cold and out of the way market. I don't think small because
I do. I mean, it is a small town.
They think of it. Small market was also capable of giving players as much money or more than anybody else in history. So it's not about money,
right?
Where money is indeed the issue in the small market baseball town. They legitimately don't have the money.
And I should say one more. New Orleans is like surprisingly small market.
But I'll say this. The best thing that ever happened to the Benson family and the Saints in the long run was Katrina. Because what happened with Katrina 20 years ago was they lost a lot of New Orleans-ites. They moved. A lot of people left, and they spread that Saints fandom throughout Texas, into Houston, over toward Atlanta. They didn't go far, but they carried their fan map a little bit further, and it was to the detriment of the Texans.
But Kansas City also has, from a fan map standpoint, has a big chunk of land chiseled out, especially when the Rams left.
Yes.
Missouri loyalties weren't split, and that is a
yes. The Kansas City fan map has grown, obviously, with Mahomes, but that's when I look at when we talk about market size for the NFL. It's not just the size of the city there, because for the longest time, if we really wanted to call it, the Cowboys played in Arlington.
Yeah,
so
but by media market, they were. I mean, right. DFW's massive.
And the media market, to me, is what we're basing Kansas City on, but that's not how you base fandom for the NFL. It's the other markets that are also part of the Kansas City Chief radio TV network.
Because you don't I don't think anybody considers Tampa as a major market team, but Tampa is a bigger market than Seattle,
by far.
Denver, or Detroit. Which is. It's Tampa's a bigger market than Miami from a media market.
Yes, Tampa, because we keep St. Petersburg is its own town that we don't even talk about, but it's part of the market.
As a former program director and getting emails all the time, people looking to work, I'm always mapping out okay, how big of a job have you done?
Right.
What are these media market sizes? And it surprises you sometimes that Tampa will be just outside the top 10, and then a city like St. Louis that you think of as this is a big city, barely top 25.
No, but it's a regional hub, and they service different things than Tampa. Tampa's just big for a lot of reasons, and even though it's a huge market, as far as fandom for Tampa, there's a bunch of Yankees that are Northerners that are Giant fans and Philadelphia fans that'll never be Tampa fans.
And Las Vegas. Las Vegas, I think, is I think they're around 40 to 45. They're probably getting bigger now, but when I was a PD, they were in the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't look at the Raiders and go, "Oh,
it's not small market."
The Raiders have a massive fan base now. Most of them don't live in Las Vegas,
right?
But if you think the Raiders don't have and meanwhile the Chargers play in the second biggest market in the U.S.
and no one
and have no fans.
That media and size applies to a lot of things. It just never has with the NFL. They're all making the same kind of money. They have a hard cap. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Everybody's dealing with the same kind of principles, whereas baseball and basketball, they've got all the bird right rules, and some ownership can pay the luxury tax, and there's all this other kind of stuff where small markets do suffer, not in the NFL.
I do think that the Chiefs' fatigue is being exacerbated by the Taylor Swift thing.
Oh, yeah.
And football fans in general hate when, and I don't know why they hate it, but they hate when non-football people suddenly become interested in football for a reason that isn't football related.
And
every sport is like that.
Yes.
Every sport is very protective of their things. They're like, you don't know anything about it. You only like it because of this.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, who cares? I'm one of these people who's like, who cares? As long as people are watching, enjoy it. The people who are like, well, people are only watching UFC now because of Conor McGregor or Brock Lesnar or Ronda Rousey. I'm like, okay, they're cool. They're watching. Hopefully they see something else they like and they're into it.
The good news is, Mahomes is a likable guy for the most part. The Kelce's are certainly likable.
They're a little tired out.
That's
I'm
it.
not
And
gonna lie.
the thing, when you think about the teams that we follow that we're interested in, there's also you need a little bit of larceny. You need a little bit of on the edge kind of stuff to keep us interested. Even New England had that long run. They were flattening balls and filming people on the sideline. There were some things behind the scene that kept us interested as that ball rolled down the hill. The Chiefs, it's just, Taylor Swift's here, and they just win and go home. There's no edge to them. There's nothing that we can pick at.
Well, there's been in this run, there's been some really exciting Chiefs football teams. This is not one of them.
No,
they are not fun to watch right now.
And no new characters, nobody extra. So.
That's to their credit. Who cares? They're winning. Just like last week, the Bills weren't fun. I like winning even more. I don't want to lose 50-52. The Chiefs find a way to win these games, and it's impressive to me that every time I watch the Chiefs, I'm like, they're not that good, and they always find a way to win. And there's something to be said about that.
As a Spurs fan, whenever we'd go to the finals, it was traditionally the lowest-rated finals ratings of all time. No one cared. I think that New Jersey the Nets Spurs. What was that? 07, 05,
the lowest rated finals.
Oh, no one gave a crap, and we had to hey, we're small market. Look at us. I think Kansas City fan has a little bit of that in them.
Well, keep this in mind. When people are saying, Corey, Rob, they aren't likable. They're oversaturating us with them. There is a massive oversaturation of the Chiefs, but also keep in mind a lot of the people saying this are Dallas Cowboy fans.
Right. Like, who are you to say?
And if you don't,
pot and kettle.
If you don't realize it, the market and media stuff is oversaturated with Cowboy discussion. Like, the Cowboys, the Jets, and the Chiefs are the most talked about teams in the NFL this year. And it's those three, and I don't know who's in fourth, but it's distant.
Oh, no question.
I mean, it is distant.
And it's for different reasons, too. There's nothing negative.
Two of those
about
teams
the
are in the
Chiefs.
playoffs.
Yeah, the other ones, we talk about them because it's fun, because it's a bunch of lunatics and idiots and ne'er-do-wells and that. And then there's the perceived, well, it's not even perceived. It is true. These are all good guys. I mean, they just don't do anything that's going to end up on page 6 or on
because when they've got not good guys, they seem to be willing to get rid of them.
And they're gone. You know, I guess the only thing we have to pick at is Mahomes' brother. I mean, that's it. There's nothing really.
His wife is annoying too.
Well, she's just annoying though. There's no trouble. There's nothing. She's not slapping cops or she's not storming out of bars or anything like that. It's just they just boring. Get off the stage. We want something interesting.
Yeah,
winning isn't enough.
I don't know. I can't explain the Chiefs fatigue, but it's real.
There.
But now. Freedom Ride says if you're a Texas Tech fan, you're pretty much a Mahomes fan. He represented Texas Tech really well. Yeah, but it's funny because Patrick Mahomes, he was 13-19 or 13-20 at Texas. He didn't win, and Texas Tech fans they're like, oh, we knew all along. Bubba, you didn't know all along. He won 13 games in 3 years. Don't act like you saw this like some kind of oracle. We knew this was coming. He won 13 games in college. I think they went to one bowl game when he was there. So you could say, he represented Texas. He's represented Texas Tech well since he left. But
the only person, literally, there are two people in the world that truly believe that it was going to happen. One was his agent, and the other was Andy Reid. But everybody else saw Patrick Mahomes and went, no. Because remember when he was drafted? When he was drafted, he was hurt. When he was at the Super Bowl in Houston, right before he was to get drafted, he was hurt. He was walking around with a brace on his hand with Lee Steinberg, just having anybody interview him that would want to, just trying to get his name out there because he was just trying to get him promoted. Andy Reid saw it. He knew exactly what he was doing. Steinberg saw it. Nobody else did. I'm not going to take any credit and nobody else should. So, no, we knew Mahomes was going to be great.
No, I never thought he was going to be this. He was a system quarterback at Tech, and he didn't really run the system all that brilliantly. Alexander says we like the drama from the Cowboys. The media is forcing us to like the Chiefs. I don't particularly like the drama about the Cowboys.
It's the only thing to keep you interested.
I don't particularly like the drama about the Jets. I wish the Jets would never get talked about. But it is what it is, and I think when it's your team, everybody feels differently about it. Like, I guess everybody wants their team to be talked about.
Yes, everybody wants their team to be relevant. I think that for relevancy is the vital part. Good, bad, or indifferent.
But you want it for the right reasons.
Well, no, I think there's a lot of organizations that don't mind being. I always call them the Death Stars. They don't mind being the bad guys.
I'm guessing 3 years ago, the Commanders didn't like all the attention they were getting.
No, but they
now it's like, talk about us now. But the media, and maybe we're to blame for this. People aren't as interested now because it's not. What's the story?
Right.
Okay, they're good at football. Did their owner send racist emails? Was he grabbing boobies in the cheerleader room? Like, what are we talking about?
Is that wrong?
What's the fun in that? Winning football games, big deal. You can do that easy. It's boring, but you can do that. I don't know, man. Everybody wants to be talked about. It's for whatever reason, but the Chiefs, because they're winning and we're talking about them all the time. I get how people are fatigued. And the idea that people didn't get tired in a hurry of Brady and the Patriots is patently false. And quite frankly, it was worse for me anyway, because I hate everything about the city of Boston. I don't like people from Boston. I don't like the way they talk. I don't like any of their I abhor their sports franchises. I want them all to lose every single game. So it was even worse for me. But it was very similar to this. Now there wasn't the glitz and glamour of Taylor Swift around, but Tom Brady had that on its own after about 2 Super Bowls. He was the Taylor Swift.
Well, he had a supermodel too.
And
that's not. And remember when she blew up after the Super Bowl?
And he had a character tight end, just
But there was some larceny to them. There was an edge to them. They were kind of cheaters, and they had a murderer on the roster.
Oh
and,
yes.
Yeah, there was and then suddenly Randy Moss is there, and then there were reasons to watch. They were intriguing, and you never knew which way they were going to go. The Chiefs are just a bunch of good guys that just win games barely, and you're like, well, enough of that. What do y'all go to jail? What do y'all do something crazy, and it'll be worth the attention?
Corey makes a really good point. Andy Reid is a likable guy. Like, I like Andy Reid as a coach.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between them and the Patriots is Belichick is not likable. Now, he's a genius. He's a great coach, but he was surly, and you didn't want to cheer for him. Andy Reid is a guy, like, I'm genuinely happy for Andy Reid's success. I mean, I'm genuinely happy that Patrick Mahomes has had the success he's had. He seems like a good dude. I was never genuinely happy for Tom Brady to have success or Bill Belichick, ever. So
I mean, there's I think the ongoing greatness and just the roboticness of
there is something to
had
that.
to be offset by, because if they didn't have that larceny edge, it would have been the most boring era in football.
Now that it's over, I can appreciate it more. It's like I know they were great. I just didn't like it.
Right.
And you know there were people, I'm sure there was a lot of people from Houston and Dallas who didn't like it when the Spurs were going on their run.
No, they were. The whole talk about they're boring and then, do something. Don't just win. Do something. That was.
I mean, how dissimilar are these Chiefs from that era of Spurs?
There's a lot of, we had our own star in, what's her name?
Ava Longoria.
We had a lot of that. We were boring. Our best player was the big fundamental. I mean, we just went out and scored 90 points a game and won 5 rings. That's just kind of what we did.
But you never felt bad about it?
No, but we always had the little brother syndrome. We always did have we were the small
chip
market.
on your shoulder. Yeah, you don't know why people
fly over country.
Why aren't people talking about us more? I guess. For me, if the Bills win, I don't care if anybody talks about them at all. Like I don't need that. I saw it with my eyes. They got a championship. I'm happy. But I don't know. Maybe if they had like a sustained run of 5 years, if they won 4 in 5 years or something, and nobody was talking about them the way they did the Chiefs and the Patriots, I could maybe see feeling that way.
Those little things, but the Chiefs haven't had to deal with it like the Spurs had. When you're the world champion and you're playing the noon game on Sunday, those kind of things. You're like, we're playing on Christmas Day on Sunday or whatever that is, but we're the noon game. Those little things as champions, you start going, oh, I get it. I see. We're the champions, but we're still not the Lakers. I get it.
Corey says, AJ getting in trouble. First Houston, now Boston. You're going to have to stay local, brother, if you keep this up. I would never work in Boston sports radio. They'd kill me.
Well,
but I wouldn't care. I'd get on there and I
have good friends. Both of us have good friends that have worked that Boston market. It's a different world.
Yeah, I don't care what they think anyway.
They don't do sports.
Yeah, I hope they choke on their beans, whatever the hell they eating. Stupid idiot. Who talks like that? Like, they do it on purpose.
I have found over the years that the Boston accent and rural Cajun, very close.
It's the worst accent by far. The worst by far of any American accent.
Yeah, there's no question about that. There's some contenders, but no, there's no
I always
question.
say a chick could be a 10 and she shows up talking like that Boston accent, instant 4. It's disgusting.
I find that with Portuguese.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I don't find that alluring.
Well, but usually Portuguese chicks look a lot better than Boston chicks.
Well, there is that.
Yeah, you can get over it a little easier. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll talk about what's going on outside the world of sports. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1. I'm going to tell you about SA Card House. That's right, my friends over at SA Card House. We had that big tag team tournament this weekend. That was a great time. And SA Card House has something special coming up, apparently. I'm curious how this thing is going to work, but they've got a big tournament going, and it is a $77,777 guarantee, a mystery bounty tournament. It's going to start up Monday, February 3rd. There's going to be a satellite, and the tournament's going to go from the 6th through the 9th, and there's a bunch of different day ones and then a day 2. there's one person who's going to be, when you knock that person out, it's a mystery. I don't even know who it is. When you knock that person out, there's a $10,000 guarantee to the person that knocks that person out of the tournament. How awesome is that? Like, so you might knock somebody out of the tournament. You think it's no big deal. They're going to walk over to you and give you $10,000. $10,000. This is going to be a blast. Like I said, it's going to start on February 3rd with the satellite entries, and then there's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's going to be day ones, and then the day two on Sunday, and everybody on day two is going to be in the cash. So check out their socials, SA_Cardhouse, to see what's going on with that. They're at 281 in Bitters. Stop by, check them out. I will see you at the tables.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like we did clear that accident on 151 eastbound approaching 410. Still have the stall at 35 northbound at New Braunfels. That one's off to the right shoulder, so that should be clearing soon. For the most part, we are in good shape. Everything is looking good, rolling at posted speeds. If you do see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out. That number 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
South Texas, get ready for the ultimate sports talk experience. The one and only Rich Eisen is on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. With over 20 years of NFL experience, Rich Eisen brings breaking stories, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews with sports legends to your airwaves with unmatched wit, insight, and passion. Catch all the action every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show, only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Welcome to Staples.
I am so pumped. My business is going to kill it this year.
Awesome. How can I help?
First, a new computer.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you save big on tech.
And new posters.
Save on custom printing, too.
And,
a new chair?
A chair? Who has time to sit?
Maybe all your new clients?
Now you're talking.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you'll find huge savings on custom prints, storage, chairs, and tech. And now save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 2/1.
My reason why is the Before Work Hustle, an after-school home, a section of my block, a corner to call my own. Here, I stand strong. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Join today and find your why. Learn more at ymcasatx.org.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check you have a full tank of gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. A man has won he's won a claim. A man has been wrongly accused of masturbating at a woman on a London bus.
Wrongly accused, huh?
Wrongly accused.
It was the other guy, it wasn't me.
He says he's been a victim of verbal and physical attacks ever since. People are saying, you're a pervert.
Well,
he was arrested by 6 police officers at his home in North London after being wrongly identified. The incident happened on a bus back in May of 2021, and officers published a closed-caption TV image of the suspect, who was over 6 feet tall and described as chubby. Not long after the Met asked the public for help, someone called and claimed that Brent was the man who did it. Despite looking nothing like the man in the CCTV image, officers arrested him at his home anyway. Police researched him, revealing he had short graying hair and was significantly shorter and thinner than the offender, but they listed him as a viable suspect anyway. It was only after he'd been in custody for more than 7 hours that a more senior official looked at him and realized he didn't resemble the suspect at all. Now, despite being released, the damage was done as neighbors saw him being arrested. They pinned it all on me without actually investigating it all. It was disgusting. The description of the guy was over 6 foot. I'm 5'8". I'm the slimmest person alive, and this guy was fat.
Well,
that seems like unnecessary. Now I don't trust the police.
Now.
They have put my life in danger. They are horrible people.
Did you get any money?
$5,000. Just before Christmas, he was hospitalized after being hit over the head by a bottle. He's disabled. He's been assaulted, evicted from his home, and even banned from his favorite pub since he was arrested. I mean...
Oh, well.
Even when you don't masturbate on women on the bus, it follows you for life.
I get the sense he's done some other stuff that probably didn't get caught for, that, he's just kind of paying the price in the long run.
Maybe so. Maybe so. A 26-year-old woman was arrested on Saturday after she picked up an axe and chased another woman. The woman was booked at 3:30 p.m. on suspicion of first-degree robbery and while armed with a deadly weapon. Shortly before then, the suspect and the 27-year-old victim were in dispute over a fanny pack. I don't know what was in this fanny pack. Perhaps jewels, like the crown jewels,
So
perhaps
where
millions
were they?
of dollars.
Where she had ready access to an axe.
That's
a hard weapon to just come by.
Yeah. So it says near Percival Creek in Olympia. I don't know what's going on.
Olympia, Washington.
Yeah.
Maybe, lots of trees. Maybe I was just there.
But the incident began a disagreement, then became an argument, and finally escalated into threatened violence when the suspect grabbed an axe and told the woman to return her things. So the gal was apparently trying to take her fanny pack.
Did she return the...
The axe-wielding suspect then chased the woman, grabbed the pack.
Okay.
And when the victim emerged, she called 911. The axe was described as a wood-chopping axe with a red handle.
Those are the best axes.
I mean,
wood chopping ones.
Well, yeah.
You don't want the non-wood chopping axe. That
no.
doesn't
If
really
if an axe doesn't chop wood, is it still an axe?
It's not even really an axe. It's kind of a dull metal.
What if you had a
hammer?
An axe that was about like as long as your finger, and you used it only to chop off a pinky?
That's what the cartels use.
They don't use full-size axe?
No, they use it's the cartel axe.
So it is. They consider it an axe, but it's a specific cartel axe.
It's got a job. Every job has a proper tool.
Yeah, I thought it was bolt cutters.
Bolt that works too. But if you're doing 3 and 4 in a row, you want the axe. It's all about volume.
Yeah,
intimidation. You got a lot of pinkies you got to cut off down there.
Yeah, you do. Otherwise, you might forget.
Yeah, I mean, 4 or 5 at a time. Just line them up.
You might forget that whatever you did to wrong the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
Have you finished, Vic? Have you finished Landman?
I haven't started.
Oh, I finished the day it came out. Yeah,
I will imminently finish. I haven't even finished the last episode of Yellowstone. I'm behind. I got to wait for football season to finally complete before I can catch up.
Oh yeah, no,
you watched that other show.
I know.
One day.
I watched the wrong one, but actually I didn't. I watched a very good one.
I'm going to watch that one next.
American Primeval. Highly recommend it. Peter Berg directed 6 episodes of Western bloodletting.
Now this is a local story that is a little strange. Normally I tell stories that aren't strange at all, but this is a little strange.
Stuff. Is this from here?
This is San Antonio, Texas.
And weird something happened here. All right.
Yep. A man was charged in a road rage shooting earlier this week. He's now accused of something else. Jose Israel Terran is charged with attempting to purchase human organs or purchase a baby and harvest the organs. He is accused of trying to purchase a 9-month-old baby. Police said that he was mistakenly added to a group text message of family members discussing the details of a 9-month-old's baptism. According to an affidavit, Terran, who is not part of the family, responded, "That's a nice Caucasian baby. How much you want?" The creator of the group thread, discovered that her uncle had changed his cell phone number, which was now being used by Terran. She told Terran wrong number and proceeded to block him. He continued to ask the group thread, "Are you not interested in selling? I'm willing to start the bid at $500K. The 9-month-old's father called Terran, who said he'd purchase babies for their organs and was willing to pay for the baby in cash or Bitcoin. Terran said he was willing to meet that day for purchase and confirmed he knew the address of the church where the baptism was scheduled and their home address, which was sent earlier in the group thread.
Let's call off the baptism and just sell the baby.
When questioned about the messages, Terran said that he thought the group thread was spam, so he was just joking.
I think he probably was.
I kind of tend to think that.
I think he's just effing with somebody who ended up on a random text.
But
how much for the little one?
But he was also charged earlier this week in a road rage shooting, so he's not a good guy.
No, I didn't say he was a nice guy. I just think he was screwing with a random group text.
Terran was driving a sedan on Monday afternoon along I-35 near the Thousand Oaks Drive exit when he pulled out a gun and shot a man inside a semi-truck in the leg.
Oh, I remember this. This broke the news. It was early that morning. Yeah. That was. And then he ran.
Both the cars crashed.
Yeah.
But
so he was trying to buy a baby before he shot a trucker?
Trying to buy a baby.
This is a one-man crime spree. Is he on the PGA?
I don't think so. I do not believe
Did he shoot
so.
scratch golf?
And one other local San Antonio story, Jesse Garza has been arrested.
I know a Jesse Garza.
Do you?
I hope it's not this one.
Does he live on the west side?
Maybe.
Okay.
There's probably a few that do.
I know a few.
You know a few
and
Jesse
I know a few
Garzas?
Jesse Garzas on the west side, yes.
That's a common name?
Not uncommon, let's put it that way.
A man was upset over a refund at HEB.
All right.
And
could still be my friend.
He showed up wearing body armor and carrying a firearm.
No, my Jesse doesn't have body armor.
He wouldn't be that kind of a guy?
I don't think he has firearm.
He had 2 guns on him and was...
I remember this happened the other day, too, down at the... does it give you the HEB? I think it's the one over on...
a West Side HEB.
Yeah, I think it's the one over on Calabria, right there by St. Mary's. Actually.
Or Las Palmas.
I don't think it was Las Palmas because I saw the stand-up with the news person that was doing it. I think it was the one. I could be wrong. It doesn't really matter. But
so he was arrested on charges of terroristic threat.
Yeah, he showed up in body armor.
They didn't want to give him a refund.
To get a refund.
They don't. It doesn't say what item it was, which
or
I think
how
it
much
should.
The refund?
I want to know what you're willing to go into HEB with 2 guns and body armor.
What costs that much?
About.
What?
Just give him. Give him the refund.
I'd be like, it's against our policy, but this once.
You look a little sketch.
We're just we're gonna make an exception for you.
That and the AR-15 you're holding. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the refund.
We're gonna make an exception.
Make a command decision. I'm not even gonna call my boss. I'm just gonna do it right off the top.
I'm gonna push this through for you, buddy.
You and me.
All right. When we get back, we're gonna take a look at the daily lines and wrap up the show the way we always do. But Rob, first,
I hope you woke up and washed yourself clean under a Connecticut water softened shower. If that was you, carry on. You're doing things right. But if you're like a few out here in San Antonio who have not taken advantage of the best water softener you can buy for this part of the world, listen close. Now's your chance. For the next 90 days, you can have a Connecticut in your home without spending a penny. If you'll call 656 Pure right now, the Connecticut good folks at Connecticut come out and put one of their very best water softeners in your home for 90 days to prove to you what I'm saying. That it is, in fact, the best water softener you can buy. The warranty, once you own it, it's second to none. It is made with South and Central Texas in mind. That limestone and all that other stuff in our water makes for some good flavor. I'm not going to lie. The sweet tea and the beer coming from our aquifer, that's good stuff. But it's the other stuff that gets left in your pipes. You'll see it on your dishes, on your skin. You'll feel it in your hair. You don't want that. You don't want your dog drinking all that. You go get yourself a Kinetico and find out that there is, in fact, a difference. And here's the little Palone, the little extra. If you'll buy within the next 90 days, they're going to add on a reverse osmosis drinking station onto your sink. I had to buy it. You're going to get it free. Never another bottled water in your future. Ready water for your tea and your coffee. Right there. It's perfect. It's exactly what you're chasing. The convenience to go along with the very best water softener you can find. So how do you get it? Call 656-PURE. They're going to come out. Go to KineticoSA.com for all the details. Sing it while you type it. But I'm here to tell you, if you don't have a Kinetico, you're just not doing it right. Go get you one. Join the cool kids and come by and thank me later.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite, now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 1/13 through 1/24. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. While supplies last. See store or Lowes.com for more details and qualifying items.
On Super Sunday, you can be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
Getting arrested can feel like a sucker punch to the face. Don't accept mediocrity while staying down for the count. Get up and fight for your reputation and your future. At Barton & Associates, we have a stable of hard-hitting and aggressive lawyers ready to get your life back on track. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasArrest.com. Barton & Associates, we are here to get your life and reputation back.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Hey, I got you something.
What's this?
Just a little Galentine's gift from JTV.
Do you mean jewelry television? I love their jewelry. They have the
New customers get $25 off their first purchase of $75 or more. Visit jtv.com/romance.
Yeah, their artisan collections, gorgeous.
Are you going to open your gift?
Oh yeah. It's the pearl bracelet.
New customers receive $25 off their first purchase of $75 or more. Visit jtv.com/romance.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
I heard the boys this morning on the Morning Huddle talking about people that get divorced now in North Korea have to go to a labor camp for 6 months.
How much do you really want to get away from her?
Exactly. I think I would have done that.
First one or second?
Second.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Talking one-hit wonders. Is this Nina Cherry?
This is bad music. No wonder there was only one hit.
It's Buffalo, bro. It's a Buffalo stance.
Yeah.
Is this your way of saying go Bills? Yeah, that'll work. I'll accept
Buffalo
that.
Girl? We could do Buffalo
I don't like
Girls.
this. Nobody likes the Chiefs no more.
Yeah. Claymore says, Corey said, inflation makes you do crazy things. Claymore says, yeah, sitting in prison, wishing he was dealing with inflation out of prison. That's true. Price of cigarettes has gone up in prison. I'll tell you that much.
How you
Price of toilet hooch is going up.
Well, it's how you earn the cigarettes that has remained the same.
Yes, and it ain't fun. I mean, I don't know, but it didn't seem fun.
I hear tell.
Doesn't seem fun, but you know what? Hey, do your thing, man.
Yeah.
You do you, Bubba. If that's the sort of thing that you're into, God bless. Birds up. Let's do what we always do to wrap up the show. Take a look at the daily lines.
We're doing.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We'll start in the NBA, the Association of Basketball, the national one. The Timberwolves, 3-point favorites at the Mavs. Still no Luka for Dallas, but Kyrie's playing good ball.
Timberwolves coming off a loss to the Grizz night before last, 108-106.
I'm guessing there will be less defensive push headed their way than there was in that game.
I don't have a vibe on this. I feel like the Timberwolves are better.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't know what to make of Minnesota right now.
Phoenix making moves, by the way. Picked up 3 first-round picks from Utah.
Well, they're going to send those to Miami for Butler, right?
Oh, God. They'd be so dumb if they did that.
That's what I believe is about to happen next week. So, no,
right. Well,
they're going to load up on those picks. That's the best thing that could happen right now to Miami.
3 first-rounders for Jimmy Butler?
That's the market, man. I get it.
Dude, Miami wins that trade 1,000%.
But what's the Ishbia? Matt Ishbia?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's looking at Kevin Durant and seeing a ticking clock, man. He's running out of time. Booker, he's not going anywhere. But Durant, you're going to have to do something now or this whole...
Unfortunately for him, Bradley Beal's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Bradley Beal is a utter
albatross.
Mistake. So, yeah, I think that's imminent. And Miami picking up a couple of low-end draft picks, but draft picks nonetheless.
Detroit plus 2.5 at the Hawks. Zachary Risache is going to be out for a little while with a thigh contusion.
That's good. We need Risache on the bench because he's better than I thought he was.
Risache.
And we need Detroit to beat Atlanta for our own ping-pong ball's sake.
That's right. How about this matchup tonight? The Cleveland Cavaliers at the Houston Rockets. Cleveland minus 2.5 going into the Toyota Center.
Look at what Cleveland has done over the last week, and look at who they've played. The schedule creators put Cleveland in a gauntlet over the last 10 days. They're playing nothing but the upper echelons and doing well.
3 straight games, Thunder, at Timberwolves, home Suns.
Well, the Suns is a little break, but that's a tough run for Cleveland and have met every challenge. They might not have won every game. They got pantsed the other night by
Thunder,
OKC,
yeah.
But that was off of a previous big game. I like Cleveland no matter where they're playing.
I'm the same way. I don't bet against Cavaliers very often. Although I did in that Thunder game. I was like, it just feels like a bad spot. But I'm not. I think the Rockets are better. I don't think they're there yet. Bucks minus 5.5 at the Pelicans.
I guess that's telling us no
there
Zion.
You go.
Huh?
Well, sounds like Zion is not going to be playing. Charlotte plus 12 in Memphis.
That's about right.
Yeah. The total 241.
Memphis is putting the ball in the bucket.
For a Grizzlies game? The Grizzlies are a defense team, right?
Not the team I saw play the Spurs in that second game. What did they put on us, 130?
That's true. Jazz are plus 17. The Jazz are an NBA professional basketball franchise. They are catching 2 touchdowns and a field goal at the Oklahoma City Thunder.
They're the first NBA team sitting at the poker table to officially fold. Yesterday with the trade, there we go. We're out.
Yep.
We're heading toward Cooper Flag land, ladies and gentlemen.
Throw these cards in the middle, into the muck. But did you see Portland? I told you the Heat shouldn't be favored by 11 over anybody. Portland beats them by 9 points.
You mean that team that just beat the Spurs?
Yeah.
That team? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Portland off of a win last night Oof. Golden State tonight, plus 7.5 at Sacramento.
Two teams.
Warriors off an embarrassing loss.
And Sacramento, poor team. I've never seen, apart from maybe Charlotte on the other coast, a team that just can't get out of their own way. Just what are you doing? This team had
they've got so much talent.
Second round playoff written all over them.
Yeah.
There's no reason why, and it's not because of injuries. It is because of ineptitude.
Yeah, that sounds like a coaching issue. And Boston Celtics 10-point favorites at the Clip Show.
Rolling.
And finally, this isn't until tomorrow, but it's at 1 p.m. San Antonio Spurs and the Indiana Pacers will come to Paris and play a game of basketball here. Spurs are 3-point underdogs.
Are we gonna be able to watch this game?
I would assume. I mean, it's
probably NBA Network.
Yeah, it's probably what it is. It comes on in the middle of the day, though, so I don't.
Hey, we're home.
That's in my nap time, though. Yeah. What am I supposed to do? Stay awake? Are you going to be able to stay awake?
Well, by the way they've played, I hope they can keep me awake.
Yeah, they're going to put you to sleep, Bubba. College hoops tonight. Did you say Utes? The Utes are minus 19.5 at the Cougs. Houston.
No respect for Utah.
No, well, Utah's
19.5. That's a giant number.
It is a giant number, but also
Houston
they strangle you, man.
Well, that's what I was about to say. The thing about Houston is there are nights they don't look very good. They're going to beat you, and you're going to walk out feeling like you just played a football game. But this is Coach Sampson's worst offensive team. They're still going to bring it every night, but they don't outscore you like you just said. They just squeeze you to death. 19, that's a big number for this team. That's big.
So they just barely beat Central Florida. They won by 1 point at Central Florida. Before that, is in conference play, they beat West Virginia by 16, Kansas State by 30, TCU by 19, BYU by 31, and then at Oklahoma State by 13. They're very capable of beating your ass.
Oof.
But here's my warning to you, friends. On Saturday, first of all, Houston's probably been kind of distracted this week. You know it snowed there, and the whole city got shut down. This game was supposed to be played yesterday. It got postponed.
Oh.
But I think the most important note here is Houston goes to Fog Allen Fieldhouse on Saturday. So now they've got one less prep day for that. My guess is they just try and get this game over with as fast as possible and get up
practicing for Kansas.
to Lawrence.
They're looking at Kansas set. There's not running through Utah's secondary offense right now. They're looking at Kansas' third offense.
So I refuse to lay a big number with the Cougs tonight, even though they should smack this team.
Saturday's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah, that's a good game. The Florida Gators, 10.5-point favorites at South Carolina. South Carolina winless in SEC play so far. And
Florida's getting better by the day.
Got a little juggernaut to them. Kansas, 5.5-point road favorites at TCU. We'll say be careful with road favorites in the Big 12, but if I were playing one, I wouldn't hate this one in particular.
Brendan Witzel, San Antonio's own, playing for TCU. Reason to tune in.
The first place in the Big East, St. John's Red Storm.
Rick Pitino will tell you how good his team is.
I don't know a lot of people would have had that on their bingo card. They are 7.5-point favorites hosting Xavier. X going to give it to you.
I'll tell you, I watched Xavier lose the other night. That's a good basketball team.
They're good, man. They're
St.
way better
John's
than I thought.
Yeah.
And the nightcap, Rob's fighting Texas A&M Aggies.
Well, this is a big one.
Uh-oh.
I'll be honest. I think A&M's very good.
Yeah, they're good.
I think Ole Miss is also very good. Ole Miss is at home, and Ole Miss is only laying 3.5 points. I think I'm backing the running Rebs tonight.
I think they probably would have had a little bit more, but they laid an egg against Mississippi State.
But Mississippi State's awesome.
But did you see what Mississippi State steps out last night and loses to Tennessee? I think
and you know what all those teams had in common? They were on the road when they got their ass kicked. Right. The home court in the SEC is massive. And I'm gonna ride it tonight. So
yeah.
I think A&M is probably going to be a 3 seed.
Yeah, they're a good team. They just A&M offensive rebounds was as good as anybody, but they have to because they can't shoot.
And the thing about it is, good teams in the SEC. Remember, Florida kicked Kentucky's ass. Auburn kicked Tennessee's ass. good teams in the SEC are going to get their ass kicked over the course of the season.
Mississippi State.
Because everybody's good.
What was it, 17-0 or something last night? I watched the first 8 minutes, and I didn't expect to see that at all.
I laid 6.5 points on Tennessee, and it was never, ever in question. I was feeling good from start to finish. But yeah, I'm going to back the Rebs tonight just because home court. I just feel like that's it's just too much to overcome. And 3.5 means they think these teams are pretty damn close to begin with. And something else to consider when we're talking about what are you looking ahead to? This is one of those instances where A&M, this is a tougher game for them at Ole Miss. But on Saturday, they're playing in Austin, Texas. And they probably have that game circled.
Well,
even though Texas isn't real good,
the challenge that they're facing.
No, but you know that those kids, you know what they're thinking about.
The thing about Texas is they've got 5 good starters. They're just not a very good team. So when the 5 starters are playing pretty good, especially Johnson, yeah, that's a tough.
Now,
out,
Rob, when you got 5 good players,
I agree,
and they're no good. What do you think that? What do you point at?
The season isn't done, but right now I have some questions about Rodney Terry's abilities here.
I don't know if Texas is a tournament team, and that's crazy.
Yeah, by the talent they are, but by the output. I mean, last night was a huge win. I think that might be their second quad one win, so they needed that, but they're so far away from being what I thought they were going to be. It's unfortunate.
It really is. They're a disappointing-looking team. So there you go. That's your top 25 going on tonight. Rob seems to really want hockey. I don't know if I'm ready to bring you guys hockey breakdowns yet.
There's something about my internal seasonal clock. I know the Super Bowl's imminent. I know we got championships games. We got 2 weeks in between our football games coming up, and it's just kind of about time to start looking toward the frozen.
Do you ever watch the hockey games?
Never.
Okay. Yeah,
no.
It's
Every
fun.
year I promise that I'm going to find a team. I'm going to dive all the way in, and it's like Quitters Friday. Like 2 weeks in, I've watched 2 hockey games.
I'm committed to watching the Knights Stars game on Friday. They've knocked each other out of the playoffs the last 2 years. Like it's
maybe that'll light the flame.
It's
because
for blood.
Last year we made money playing. I mean, I made some money, so I'm kind of excited to find that hot goalie.
We'll get back in the mix. So there you go. That's the Daily Lines brought to you by SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house located at 281 and Bitters.
So if I went to SA Card House and I played in this tournament, and I'm the $10,000 knockout, do I get a little bit of something for being the rabbit?
No, because you won't know.
Well, see, if I did find out later, like, oh, here's a little something for the effort, like this.
I mean, that'd be cool, but no, you don't. There's going to be. I'm guessing there's going to be an assigned person who has no idea, because otherwise, if you and I are playing and I'm the guy, I'm going to be like, hey, bud.
Yeah.
You want to make a deal?
Like if I knock you out, I'll split it. I'll split the pot.
Of course, yeah. So they don't want that happening. So I think it's like you could be the guy and never know, and then you get knocked out, and they go, "Hey, it just happened. Rob Thompson's knocked out. Here's $10,000.
Give me a little something for walking out the door."
How awesome is that? I mean,
give me $100.
You know what? I'll tell you what. If I knock out the person for $10K. I'm giving him $1,000.
It's like tipping your dealer.
I'm giving him $1,000 right there on the spot.
Your bad luck was my benefit.
That's right. All right, friends. We're going to do this all over again tomorrow.
Until we get it right.
Which means we might have Friday off. Blitz coming up at 2.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
Welcome to Staples.
I am so pumped. My business is going to kill it this year.
Awesome. How can I help?
First, a new computer.
With Staples home and office hot deals, you save big on tech.
And new posters.
Save on custom printing, too.